Welcome everybody back to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat campaign. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week and then we will get underway. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys were on the ship on the outskirts of the iceberg where this ice hunter village is. You guys spent a significant amount of time on the boat, throwing different plans sort of at the wall, seeing what would stick. Didn't really come up with anything too solid, kind of, went back and forth, a bunch of different ideas. Eventually, however, as you guys continued speaking very collaboratively so on the ship, eventually you guys noticed this person approaching. Turned out to be the shaman of the village. And once they approached and agreed to speak with you, you guys were able to get Jenkins, who is the one crew member of the ship who also speaks this local language, to translate for you, and he did so. And essentially, after speaking with the shaman and getting the ability to ask some questions, and the shaman providing maybe some basic information, the shaman eventually revealed some interesting goings-ons here in this area and offered to take you into the village once again, into the hut, and you guys agreed with that. So you follow the shaman back to the village, noticed you were getting a lot of weird looks, but because the shaman was leading you, nobody came and stopped you, and the shaman led you into the shaman's hut. Once inside, the shaman explained some details about what has been going on in this area and gave you access to the floor where there was a bunch of rugs and skins sort of piled up, and once those were cleared away, the shaman showed you there was a passage that would lead down and down into this area where the shaman had explained to you that there would be things you guys be interested in seeing there. So likely you guys recall some of those details, some of the specifics, and you guys eventually agreed to make your way down. Jenkins decided he did not want to go down. He wanted to stay up here, and you guys asked him if that was smart or what was more dangerous. He said going down certainly seemed more dangerous to him, so he would stay up. With that done, you guys decided to pile down the hole and make your way down below. Most of you didn't have too much trouble here, as you have the special gear for this area, namely crampons on your boots, which are these sort of little spikes that dig into the ice. Unfortunately, Rasmus, being a satyr, didn't have any appropriate shoes and eventually slipped and made his way tumbling down, taking some damage from that fall. Eventually, however, the group did find themselves in sort of this area where it was kind of flat, almost like a box, and they could climb down a ladder down below to these sort of ice caves. That's exactly what the group did, making their way down below, finding themselves in this decently sized room, and right away started exploring this area, seeing what they could find. After exiting the room, they did notice that there was changes in elevation in this area. And as the elevation went down, this sort of cold mist seemed to cling to the area, really limiting visibility. The group made their way west or northwest and decided to check out the chamber to the north. They were able to hear the sounds. I think it was Gale who heard the sounds first of like people talking, these sort of yippy voices in Draconic. So the group decided to approach, see what they could find out. There was a lot of this mist in the area, again making visibility very limited. However, the group did spot some kobolds and eventually engaged them in combat, as the kobolds, once they realized that the player characters were there, were trying to run out of this chamber. So the team decided to have an extermination event, killing these poor little kobolds as much as they could, hitting them in as they ran by, shooting them, all that fun stuff. There was also a large frozen giant in the center of the room that was blocking visibility, and at first, when the team first saw it, they thought perhaps this was an actual giant, but yeah, it was just frozen solid. So as the group sort of looked around this area, hoping they had taken care of all of the kobolds, not quite sure, again based on the limited visibility, eventually coming around the corner were a couple of trolls, or ice trolls, and the group found themselves engaged in that combat as well, again with limited visibility, as the trolls ganged up on Gale at first and then spread around the pane to some of the rest of the player characters, particularly when Kurtu came off at a distance and shot off some fire. One of the trolls ran right towards him to try to take a snack bite out of Kurtu. Eventually the group was able to defeat the trolls, however, and after doing one more sort of scan around the room to see if there was anything they had missed, any additional kobolds, and not finding any, they decided to move on. So continued along the west, climbed up a bit higher in elevation, had better visibility at this point, notice a chamber off to the west where there was a whole load of these strange looking oversized frogs. The frogs actually seem to be working, like actually doing work, which was a little bit odd. But the team, once the frogs didn't react to them immediately, whether they didn't spot them or they just didn't care about them, the team decided to go south instead, finding this room with another ladder leading up. The team supposed that perhaps this linked to the other hut up above in the village and decided not to engage with it at this point, but also heard some coughing coming from the furs gathered there and noticed that there was one of these ice hunters, the tribesmen in the furs, and lacking the ability to communicate to him efficiently. After realizing he wasn't necessarily an immediate threat, they decided to move on. After moving on just briefly, Gale rushed back, seeing if he was still there, or wondered if maybe he had just climbed the ladder to warn the rest of the village, but he was still there, lying down, seemingly ill. With this seemingly causing Gale to be no longer concerned about his presence there, the group continued on, finding a hole in the ground that seemed to lead down and had sort of this iconography around it. This seemed to have some kind of prominence, and the group had a discussion about should they approach it, should they avoid it for now. Eventually, Gale decided to start making his way around it. As he did, stepping into this ice along the area, part of the ice wall actually crushed forward and started pushing towards Gale, but he was quick enough on his feet to jump backward as this ice broke free and then went into the hole, crashing down below. And that team is where we left off. Is there anything I missed from the recap that anybody would like to add?
I'll give opportunity. What was it was more of a remembrance. When the shaman, she brought us into the hut and she did the tea, and it caused this conjuring or something of a deity, right? Was it like a bear deity? And honestly, I'm not trying to get inspiration. I'm just concerned worried. I don't know what the word is, but anyway, I want to know why that happened again, if someone can fill that in.
That is still good enough for inspiration, so yeah, go ahead and take that, Gale. And indeed, once the shaman brought you into the hut and did this sort of mini ritual, she summoned forth the spirit of what she called Oku, which looked to be a large bear. And the bear was simply an image. It couldn't communicate to you in any way, didn't seem to be sentient, but it was important to the shaman, at least, as far as her indicating that the great god Oku had essentially indicated to her that some strong individuals would be coming to free this tribe from the yoke of the dragon. And she had hoped that you were those people, and so upon seeing that, agreed to essentially assume that maybe you guys were the ones that were indicated by Oku, and gave you some assistance about getting down below.
Awesome, that's right.
Yeah, good addition. Anybody else have anything to like to add?
The chamber that we saw the kobolds in was also filled with those frozen statues that we kind of got an inference from that they were frozen enemies of the dragon, so to speak. So just more clues that this is the right place to find this big dragon, Erathator, or however you say it.
Yeah, so partially already mentioned, but if you can indicate what type of beings those were in the ice, if you remember, that'll definitely be worth inspiration.
They were giants. Frost giants, I believe.
Yes, good enough. Go ahead and take inspiration. So yes, the vast majority of them were frost giants, and then there was a couple of other giants that did not look to be frost giants, but nobody in the team was able to correctly identify what type of giants they were, but still some kind of a giant. All right, team. Well, if there's nothing else to add to our recap, let's go ahead and get started. So we'll pull you guys back over to the appropriate map. All right, and this is where we find ourselves, just by the hole, as the group has come this way. And again, the ice has crashed down. That walkway there is still technically walkable, but obviously there's chunks of ice and things there. I don't want to say blocking the way, but we'll say inhibiting the way.
Seems inadvisable.
Hey, Adam, now that I've triggered the environmental disruption, and I'm going to look this direction, if you could see my pointer, does it look similarly dangerous? Like it looks like it's precarious as well. If I were to walk around this side,
Give me a blind check as you attempt to see if there's anything there that sticks out to you that would allow you to determine that it has the same features as the other side. You look carefully over there for anything that sticks out to you, but it just looks like a wall of ice. Hard to say.
okay. And would I sense that I could get to the edge and not cave in?
Based on that roll, yeah.
So we have no clue what's down there or how deep, how far the hole is as of yet.
So you didn't really investigate the hole too much because as you were trying to make your way around is when the ice cracked. If you're willing to step up and look down, you could certainly gauge the distance, assuming it's not beyond your visibility.
I'll step up.
All right, yeah, so as you look down below, you can see this sort of wide shaft that goes straight down. Looks like it drops about 60 feet, and you can see that it lands on an elevated chunk of ice, essentially, and you can see that there is then lower levels of ice below that.
Okay, go step back. So it is just a deep hole with more ice. I'm surprised to learn that, I'm sure.
Well, thank you for confirming our inference that it was a big hole. Are you okay? You almost got hit by that ice.
Oh, I'm fine. This is going to be a great day. That is nothing. We are going to win today in D&D.
God, he's back to this again.
Can I make a suggestion? Perhaps we go around. We don't try to navigate the harrowing side path there.
There were other hallways back before we came into this room.
Yeah, that is a great idea. We are working as a team, and that is very invigorating.
Well, look, before we just go wandering, we know those toads are up there. Should we maybe try to talk to them?
Kill them?
No.
Oh.
Hey, Adam, how big are these toads?
Good question. So they are human-sized. So quite big for toes.
They are like Texas-sized toads.
Heard everything's bigger down there.
Do we want to go see them, or do we want to go straight up north there? There seems to be another room or something.
Jess, I think that's fine. We should maybe leave the toads because I don't speak toad.
How do you know they don't speak, like, something else?
Well, I'm not known for my intelligence, so you can correct me if I am wrong.
Well, they looked like they were, like, working on something.
If
They have
this
to
is
have-
the Dragon's Lair, they might speak or at least understand Draconic, which most of us speak.
Yeah, see?
Wow, I'm so lucky to be in such a good, communicative, and intelligent group of adventurers.
I can't tell if he's fucking with us or not.
No, when Eladrin get this way, it's usually just like, he's just overbearingly positive.
Gross.
And as a quick reminder, guys, since nobody has a light source, and this area of the location is filled with dim light from the lamps all strewn about the area here, not quite as bright as the area when you first came down. You guys would not actually be able to see Spectre, but certainly just hearing this voice, come from a disembodied voice, I suppose. But yes, as you're approaching this way, you can see that the elevation goes down. So you're starting to see more of that kind of collection of mist in the area. And you do notice what you'd probably gauge is like a bunch of trash that is sort of piled in the center of this area.
There's more mist. We should walk very quietly as much as we can.
You know how hard it is to walk quietly with hooves on ice?
No, but I can hear you, so I can only imagine.
It's clicking and clacking everywhere I go.
Hey, Adam, is there any unusual smells in this as we get closer to this area?
You wonder if there might be from this trash, but because of how cold it is, you imagine most things don't actually like rot as well here. They kind of just freeze over. So no, nothing that really sticks out to you.
So we're in those mists now, right?
You are, and as a reminder, your visibility will be limited to 45 feet. So if anything is beyond that 45 feet, even if you should see something on the map, it doesn't necessarily mean it is there.
You think maybe we should kind of spread out a little bit? Last time the kobolds made their way to like a exit. Maybe we just make sure there's no one in here.
Yes, and they tried to warn somebody, and maybe that was just the ice trolls, but it could have been worse. I will guard this area and the vigilance.
It looks like there's another walkway or something over here.
So how big's the trash, Adam? Is it piled like 10 feet high and just a lot?
No,
or?
not quite that large. Think of it as mostly scattered bits of useless junk. So you can see like food scraps, you can see some worn out boots, you can see some like junk fabric that's all tattered and piecemeal. As far as how high it is, probably near the center it might be a few feet high, but it's kind of all lean. The whole room kind of goes from higher elevation to lower in the center of the room, so it's almost like someone throws something here and slides down to the middle.
I'm gonna look above us. What's above us?
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, right.
Solid ice ceiling.
Huh.
From where you're standing at the moment here, Rasmus, looking to the east, you can see that again there's this mist. At the edge of the mist, however, you can see some small forms. They look similar to the kobolds you recently just slew, and you can see it looks like the few of them that you see are engaged in some kind of work.
I'm gonna put my hand up. Shh. See? Over there. There's more.
There's more what?
Kobolds.
Do you want me to go talk to them?
What if there's a way out on the other side?
Well, then maybe they'll tell me if I talk to them.
Okay.
Seems like a bad idea, but you do you.
I'll back you up.
Okay, so as you start approaching here, Kurtu, and can see more into the room, you see some additional shapes there. As you're approaching and not trying to necessarily be quiet or stealthy in any way, you do notice the ones nearest to you, hearing the sounds of your movement, kind of turn and look in your direction. As you guys are a little bit down below, you think they probably can only see you at this point, and you see the lead one just kind of looks down at you and like cocks his head with a confused look on his face.
Well, hello there, cousins.
And you see he looks towards you speaking in Draconic. Where'd you get all that stuff?
I did. These humans above us, they just leave all kind of stuff sometimes.
Give me a blind check as he's sort of looking at you. You can tell he's suspecting something is off at this point because you're not dressed in the same kind of drab attire and very minimal outfit that these guys kind of have. All right, yeah, you notice the one kind of just nods towards you. Yeah, that's definitely true. They don't even see the value in so many things. But you better get back to work before they hear and come back.
I know, but I was up in the other group and everything. I was up in the other section doing work and things, and some trolls came in and they were mad at us.
Yeah, they'll be mad at us too. They'll come here and eat you if you don't get back to work.
Do you mind if I join you guys instead? Because I don't want to be up there with those trolls. I work down here with you.
And you notice he looks down towards the corner and he says, yeah, sure. As you enter the room more proper here, Kurtu, again, can see a little bit more of these kobolds as sort of spread out. You notice a dozen kobolds occupy this disheveled and filthy chamber. Half-eaten fish heads and gnawed seal flippers are tossed into corners or carelessly strewn around matted heaps of furs, which would undoubtedly smell as bad as they look if not for the cold.
Delicious.
All right, Adam, I'd like to kind of get an idea of what they look like they're doing.
It seems to be a mix of things. You notice some of them, the ones closer to you, seem to be sharpening blades. A little bit further away, some of them are sewing clothing. You can see one that's nearest the exit to the east. Looks like he's carving some kind of whalebone. Down more towards the south there, you can see a few of them seem like they're, down on the ground on all fours, tossing knuckle bones between each other. So it seems almost like a variety of activities in this room.
Where do you need me, boss?
And
who's in charge down here? Which one of you?
He looks towards you, looks back. That's me. That's me, of course. And, yeah, sharpen this blade. And you see he hands the one to you that he was just sharpening.
Hey, Adam, can I move closer? I think we're locked.
You are currently not locked. You can feel free to move closer if you wish. Obviously, if somebody is spotted, then that may change things, but...
He wants to do so quietly and at half speed.
All right, I'm going to be pretending to be sharpening the blade as I'm walking around, Adam.
So you take the blade from him?
Yes.
And you notice as soon as you do, he just starts making his way down here to the south, and he goes and joins this group of guys that are throwing knuckle bones.
When was the last time you guys saw some of the trolls and some of those other creatures?
The one you're closest now looks like he's one of these guys that is sewing cloth, and he looks over to Troy. You know, they circle around all the time. You see them every now and again.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of them. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I just am afraid. Other than the trolls, who else comes down here sometimes? I've only seen the trolls mostly.
Yeah, just the trolls. Those stupid frogs don't come over this all the way. They're doing something else over there for the big guy.
Yeah, those frogs. Yeah, I don't really like them. Are they nice to you guys?
Yep. Sometimes they look like they're gonna eat him, but I think he's just lying.
I forget what's over.
And I point. I don't know if I can actually see it, though, Adam, because of the distance to the east. Can I actually see that area?
You can, yep, because this area is more flat, so your visibility would be 75 feet at this point. So, yeah, you can basically see almost to that far back wall.
So, because I'm used to working with the other group, if the trolls come down from where I came, do you guys normally run over to the other corner over there? And is there an escape route?
Go ahead and give me another blind check as you notice some of them turning and looking at you and giving you these kind of like odd looks, like they're really second guessing some of your things. And you notice two of them suddenly share a short, he must have got his head, he hit his head on the wall or something. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And you notice the one next to you actually grabs on your shoulder and shakes you a bit. Have they been knocking you around a bunch? Your brains all scattered? You must have been here long enough to know how things work.
I know, but I don't want to admit it, but sometimes I get frightened, you know? And so sometimes I just want to make sure we have a good escape route, just because I don't know, sometimes things cave in and things around here.
Well, it depends on what you're escaping from. You can go that way, and you see he points to the east, or go back towards the garbage pit.
Adam, I'm going to make my way towards the east here.
Okay.
Sharpening my tool. Sharpen, sharpen. It's getting sharp. Yes, it is.
All right. Finally, the deception skill comes in. Says nobody ever, right?
He's been waiting to use that since he rolled the character up.
Exactly. Level 8, and I've never had to roll deception.
Yeah, bro, we're cool with it. Live your best life down there.
All right, Adam. Obviously, I see what I see, but I'm pretending not to see everything, you know. So as far as the distance here goes, I'm going to go down south a little bit more.
Yep, yeah, and you notice the elevation starts to change, right, when you see that change in the color of the ground, and then once again, the distance would be much shorter at that point that you can actually see.
All right, I'm going to go up north, just kind of same thing. Looky. Adam, can I see this or not?
You can, yes, because it's more flat here.
Does that look like the area we came down?
It does, yes.
All right. I'm going to go walk back down here, and I'm going to basically make my way back to my group. Sharpen.
You notice down where they're throwing knuckle bones, one says, no, you cheated, I saw you flipped it, you've turned it. The other one's like, no, you can't see what you're seeing, no. And they start like having this little like slappy fight where they're smacking each other.
Kobold slap fight, those are the best.
All right, I'm not going to say anything as I keep on going at him. I'm just going to nonchalantly walk, half speed kind of thing.
Okay, guys. Hey, let's go over here a little bit so my cousins don't hear us.
And they might follow you because you're supposed to be working.
I did. I sharpened a blade for them. Okay, I think we're far enough. Okay. So here's the deal, okay? So there's some of my cousins over, the distant cousins, of course. Maybe about a dozen of them. And then beyond that, there just is a lot more hallways. I didn't explore the whole thing because I didn't want to lose you guys because I know you guys may get lost. And so it goes north and it goes south. And to the north, it looks like it just circles back to where we came from.
So you're saying that it all circles back to the toads.
Well, it circles back to the ladder that goes up to the mystic's room, the shaman's room, right? And so I guess we could go around back to the toads. Yeah, they said that the toads themselves, they just really don't communicate much with them, but that they're friendly enough.
That they could communicate.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Hey Adam, how big was that hole again? That thing, 20 feet? How wide?
Oh, width, between about 15 feet at its widest part.
Okay.
They did say that the trolls come over to punish them if they don't work hard enough. So once in a while, patrol will come walking around. So I don't know if there's only the ones we, killed, or if there's others. But anyway, they're mean.
Troll Parole sounds like a great band name.
Yep. Writing that one down.
If we live through this, do you guys want to start a band?
No.
You shot that down so quickly. Would
So
you
what-
sell our merch?
What's the plan, fearless leader? Are we going to visit the toads next?
You're just completely bypassing everything I'm saying here? Where are you? Where are you at?
Guys, I don't.
Found her.
Personal space, buddy.
Guys, I don't see why maybe we can't get over the hole. It's 15 feet. I guess that's quite a bit.
I can jump over that easy, but
You can jump over it and put a piston on in the ground, and then make rope attached to piston, and then we come across.
well, hang on. If Kurtu says it's a circle, then why don't we go back out and circle around and see it that way instead of what you say? Leroy said, risk it for biscuits.
But then we would have to fight the kobolds and some of my cousins. They're not hurting us. We've already, killed a
No.
couple.
No. We go this way, back out the way we came, and then we go around that way.
Oh,
If it's
okay.
a circle, right?
Well, kind of.
Thinking it's like I'm thinking it's like this,
You're making
right?
me dizzy. Yeah, I'm getting dizzy.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
No harm in checking.
That's a good plan. We should go and get it done.
Also, why we should go talk to those toads. I think that'd be nice, and if they're not nice, we could eat them.
They're probably prisoners down here like the kobolds are.
They said they were doing work for the big guy, right? Is that what you told us?
Yeah.
Kurtu?
I don't know who the big guy is, but I'm guessing he is not friendly.
Who wants to bet it's a big ass dragon that lives here?
Do we know if the dragon is male or female, Adam?
I don't think you've ever gotten that information, but if somebody would have asked during the debriefing, they certainly could have told you that Arathator is a male white dragon.
Why do you want to know, Rasmus?
Well, I mean,
He's hoping my polymorph just makes him sexy.
no, you said big boy, right? So, if it's
Ah.
Guy
Well, I didn't.
androgynous, but yeah.
I just didn't want to ask anymore about because I think they were already getting suspicious that maybe I wasn't speaking their lingo, if you know what I mean.
Not an expert on linguistics, but
look, there's the toads up here. So, what's the plan?
I
Well,
go say hi to him.
Go say hi to the toads. You're doing a very good job, Kurtu. You're very impressive with your words.
Well, thank you.
So you guys actually got this description once before, but because it's been a little bit of time, I'll go ahead and give it to you again. A bizarre sight greets you in this rough-walled chamber. About a dozen giant toads with thick, mottled white hides are at work here, scribing strange writing into the ice of the walls or onto weathered parchment and stone tablets. A few toads transfer parchments and tablets into and out of floor-to-ceiling cubbyholes cut into the ice along the entire southern wall.
Okay, I'm not going to go too far into these guys because I don't know if they're really all that friendly.
I'm going to say in Draconic.
Well, hello, how goes the scribing?
You notice the one closest to you turns and looks these big eyes in your direction. And in quite broken Draconic, it says, "Why are you here? Go away. Work to do."
I was told to check on you guys to see how the scribing's going. The troll said so.
And you see he kind of turns his eyes, looking at you a little bit oddly once again. "Go speak, Marlfold."
I couldn't hear you. You have to repeat that again.
And you notice he turns in a different language now, which you don't understand. He sort of shouts something down to the west, and you can see all the different toads kind of looking in different directions. And then one in the very, actually, you probably wouldn't even be able to see all the way that far, but you will hear the sound in Draconic sort of shouting in your direction. Once again, this voice is actually much cleaner Draconic. You can tell it's the same kind of voice that you just heard, but it's as though this person is much more adept or efficient at speaking Draconic than the first one you spoke to. Yeah, come this way, come.
I can't see down there that far. Can you come to me, please?
Come this way.
Can I tell which direction, I guess, that may be happening from, Adam?
To your west. But again, this mist that's around, it's kind of level here, so you can see 75 feet, but you can tell the voice is coming from further to the west than you can see.
Is it still dark in here, Adam?
It is, yes.
I'm going to approach a
dim
little
light.
closer at half speed.
I'm going to look at this
Just
guy
to keep
here,
an eye
Adam,
on him.
and I'm going to be like,
Was that you talking to me? I have problems seeing.
You see he turns and looks towards you. Yeah, not surprised. You're all bad at seeing. And this is very broken Draconic. Keep going that way. And you see he nudges with his head to the west.
May my dice be good rolling today. Mhm.
All right, as you get to about there, you can see the far west end of the chamber at this point. You notice one of these frogs that looks perhaps just slightly more distinctive than the others. Hard to say exactly why. Maybe it's the sheen of the skin. Maybe it's the extra little, almost like widened of the eyes. But there's one that certainly seems to sit above the others. And you see it's looking right towards you. And once again, in flawless Draconic, it says, "Yes, come, servant, come."
which one is he?
The one farthest to the west.
Of course it would be.
Okay, I'm coming. I got small legs.
All right, and as you pass this way, just glancing to your north, you see it descends pretty quickly and much thicker mist there. You notice the one farthest to the west looks towards you. What kind of story are you trying to tell now?
Oh, well, my group was sharpening the knives and getting some leather work done. You know, we were doing what we're supposed to do, of course, right? And I was wondering, one of the trolls said something about you guys were scribing and that I needed to go check to make sure you guys were getting your work done. But I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just afraid I don't want to get in trouble.
And you notice the frog kind of cocks his head and looks towards you. That's a really good story, but many problems with it. You know the trolls don't speak Draconic, right?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speak one of the other languages that I have, Adam. I'm going to speak Goblin and Undercommon. I'll speak Undercommon. I'll say.
But sometimes they speak different languages.
And you notice the frog's head again turns its head in a different direction. Nope, that doesn't sound like what they speak either. They only speak Giant. Do you speak Giant?
No, but it was translated from one of the other some other kobolds that does speak Giant. I don't
Give
make the
me-
rules around here.
Give me another blind check here.
Big money, big money, big money.
And you notice the frog looks at you, and you can tell there's this kind of disbelief in the frog's eyes. Sure, kobold that speaks Giant. Yeah, that could totally happen. Anyway, what do you want?
I'm just trying to find out how the work is going down here because, you know, it's scary down here.
You notice the frog eyes your appearance, sort of looking up and down once again. Let me guess. You came from up in the village, and you're trying now to pretend to be one of the kobolds that's down here that works for the big guy. I didn't hear you if you said anything there.
I said he was smart.
Oh, okay.
Well, you are pretty smart. You're right.
Of course I am. That's why the big guy has me organizing everything. I know everything about this entire place. I have everything organized down to I know exactly where every little thing is across this entire place.
Dang. Yeah, and we saw some of the other kobolds and stuff, but I didn't want to bother them because they're like distant cousins of mine, and you guys just look so smart over here that I wanted to kind of get an idea what it is exactly that you guys are doing. Because, wow, this is cool, and I've never seen your kind before.
Well, we're trying to categorize and catalog all of the things that the big guy took. You see all this different writing and scrolls and paperwork and all that? We're trying to, get it into good order and make sure it's all organized and stuff. But more importantly, what are you doing here?
Exploring, of course.
Okay, well, we're kind of busy. Would you mind exploring in a different area? Like maybe, I don't know, go back out the way you came, go south, don't go west the first chamber, but go west the second chamber, and maybe you'll find something more interesting that way.
Perfect. I definitely will. I got a question if you don't mind answering one question for me that I can think of. I might have two, but just one right now.
And you see the frog goes, you get this impression of a sigh, and then, it's like loose skin just kind of ripples. Okay, just one though.
Okay. Have you seen a female tiefling? We're looking for her specifically, and she's pretty nice, and yeah, that's who we're looking for.
You notice it picks up its webbed foot and smacks itself in the face. Yeah, maybe if you were to go south and not go west the first chamber, but go to the second one, you'll find something interesting.
South? I'm sorry, which way? I'm so lost. You mean south?
You notice the frog actually hops closer to you now, and in a weird, almost like human gesture, you see the frog puts like its webbed arm on your shoulder and turns you around to point you back to the east. And then you see, and you start to realize now, based on this voice, that this is very likely a female frog. But you see she points down in this direction. Again, you can only see about 75 feet as far as visibility goes, so approximately there. But she says, head down this way to the hallway, and she's letting you know to go south from there. Don't take the first chamber to the west, but take the second one to the west. And then you might find something interesting. So essentially, you can pretty much intuit here. She's saying that's where this tiefling you're looking for is, but she doesn't want to say that in so many words.
Thank you, thank you. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, if you get killed and eaten by the big guy, it won't matter. But if for some reason you're taken prisoner, just don't tell him we had this conversation.
Oh, I definitely won't. And is the big guy are you talking about the dragon or a different big guy?
Oh, you're not really good at this whole coded thing, are you?
Well, there's many. The trolls are big to me too. I mean, I'm not big.
And you notice she like starts extending with her hands. Big, big, big guy.
Oh, so bigger. Okay. And just to let you know, because you're friendly, I have a couple friends with me as well. So just to let you know that we if we do meet up, just to let you know, the password that they're going to give you is Kurtu. That's me. I'm Kurtu.
And you know she nods and says, Marfold. That's me. But if you come back, maybe bring some food, because we get hungry down here too.
Wonderful. What do you eat? I'll bring you some food, I promise. Next time I find any, it's hard to find down here, but if I find some, that's yours.
Mostly fish, of course. They catch the fish up on there and they send them on down. Fish is good.
Fish. I don't even care that it's inside or outside. So what I'll do is I'll try to bring you guys some fish if we have that chance to do so. And you've been so wonderful, but we never met. So I talk to you later. Thank you.
And you notice she gives you this kind of like croak of agreement as she hops back over to this side and keeps looking at this writing on the wall.
Wonderful. You guys are doing a great job. Great job. You guys are, very intelligent in all your writing. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You
As
can
I'm
hear them
walking by.
exchanging like dialogue between themselves and this other language that you don't speak, but you get that impression like, whenever you enter somewhere and like people start speaking a language you don't know and they actually switch from a language you do know, you get that kind of impression like they're probably talking about you. You don't know if it's good or bad, but definitely talking about you.
I have a theory about whether it's good or bad.
It happened. Me too. I think it's really good. I met new friends.
Oh, good, you didn't get eaten. What's the tea?
Speaking about eating, if we find fish, we need to give it to those frog people because they're my new friends. They're really nice. The leader, I think, said the name was Mofu, but with gurgling noise and stuff. But also said that we could go ahead and find the tiefling down in this area here to the second left. Second west, I mean, yeah.
What's in the first west?
It's not like they drew me a map, you know?
Right, but you were talking to them and asking them questions, and
I
asking them
I
what was
wish
in
you
that
were
room
with
would have
me
been
because I
better
did
than
not ask that question. No, my
Did it seem
apologies.
like she wanted us to? Didn't seem like the leader wanted us to go there.
Can't we just look? Dang it! I keep running into you.
They recommended the second west.
Why don't we do that first?
Well,
then?
south and then west.
Yeah, let's go where they told us to first. If they're your trustworthy friends, I'm sure they're great people who didn't lie to you. Let's go there first, and if we don't find anything interesting, we'll double back around. How does that sound?
Wonderful.
Any disagreements?
No, so is it down this way and then the second west, right?
I would assume that they
I think they meant
down
this way.
I think they meant this way here and then
Yeah.
down.
Yes, that's
And
what I
be
think.
quiet in case whatever we're not supposed to see.
I'm gonna try my best to keep my hooves quiet.
You notice the path descends down below and the mist gets very thick there again.
Oh, and by the way, they did say that they were scribing for the big guy, and I think it was bigger than a troll, but they would not give me specifics.
I think it's safe to assume the big guy is the dragon at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know. It could be a big, big, big troll giant. I don't know.
So this is the first chamber they were talking about, huh?
They said don't go into that one, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. And no, I don't know why, but I'm just gonna I'm sure my friends are telling me good reasons.
And just as a reminder, based on the mist, that's about as far as you're able to see. So you don't know how wide this chamber actually is, but yeah, you would just see thick mist.
I kind of want to go in there. I don't like being told what to do.
Okay, you can. We'll go this way.
And we're being half speed here, Adam.
Okay, so the entire team is attempting to move quietly here.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying my best with my clicking and my clacking.
Okay.
So we turn right to this one.
I'm gonna put my hand up to kind of signal everybody to stop, and then once everybody settles, can I try to listen into that chamber, Adam?
You can, yeah. Go ahead and give me a blind check. You don't hear anything.
It's quiet.
So once again, you notice this is a bit ascending here. So you guys are at the lowest depth of elevation. This is 10 feet higher, so you're walking up sort of a ramp or an incline to this much larger room. Again, still limited to 45 feet visibility even there.
Can I look at the ice etchings? Does it look like a dragon has clawed its way through these tunnels at all?
Blind check, see if you can determine that. Hard to say. I would say you can definitely notice carved parts of the wall where there's things that have chipped away, broken away, but you can't say for sure if that's a dragon make, but you would say it's definitely intentionally carved out.
Hmm. And is it dim light for Spectre to look around?
It is dim light.
Why don't you look around, Spectre? We stay here.
Going into this room at half speed, am I noticing anything as I ascend?
I'm checking your visibility on my layer as you're moving. So far, no.
Okay. Is there anything of interest in this room at all, or is it just empty ice
This
so
is
far?
completely empty ice, empty of anything of interest so far that you've seen. No objects, no trash, nothing on the walls, like completely empty.
That's a little curious. How's my footing? Is the ice like solid? Is it?
You're wearing the crampons on your boots still, I assume?
Yeah.
So it's decent with the crampons. You realize if you didn't have those, you think you'd probably be slipping and sliding if you were trying to move quickly.
Okay. Am I close enough to the wall to see the wall?
You can,
I must
yep.
be,
You see
yeah.
the wall. Yeah, so again, the only thing you've noticed here, but you've noticed this everywhere, is these whale oil lamps on the walls.
Okay, and they're still dim, so I'm
Dim, yep.
okay. I don't know if I'm close enough to that, but as I approach this hallway here, does this look like it's ascending?
From where you're standing right now, now, yes, you can see just the beginnings of a ramp that is ascending up, yes.
Okay. So I've, at this point, done the rounds of this room and I've seen nothing. So I will go back to the party. Just an empty room, but there's a ramp on the west side. Could lead somewhere important. It's curious to me that there's absolutely nothing here.
And it's a very large room, large enough to have the great silver ones.
Yeah, why do I hear boss music?
I want to fight something.
Chest of healing potions and mana potions right next to the door, by chance? No, just
No?
throwing that out there.
Is there like a little beacon I wave my hand by to get a
Save point.
checkpoint?
A little shrine of the healing goddess right there. Yeah.
So still at half speed, we're going here.
Is the fog lifting up at all, Adam?
It is, yes. And once you get to about there, Rasmus, I'm going to ask everybody, roll me a blind check to represent your stealth efforts.
Oh,
I don't need to roll, Adam. I'm doing really good.
that's not the blind check. Where'd it go? I've lost my. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I thought I lost my top bar for a second.
Okay, so you're all moving relatively quiet, but unfortunately, Erasmus, as you're ascending here, maybe it's the clicking of your hooves on the ice. You notice hidden from your view until it launches itself forward, suddenly bringing itself into view, is a large ice troll that was lying in wait. Apparently, it heard you approaching and decided to ambush you. So as it turns the corner here, this is going to be a surprise. So the creature has surprised you guys, and I will throw you into initiative. Okay, so Spectre would be the quickest to react. Again, of course, surprise, so turn ends, no effect. Same with Rasmus, same with Gale, and then we go to the creature's turn. And I will turn on some, not quite boss music, but battle music. All right, so from where you're at here, Rasmus, you notice the creature turns around the corner, launching right into you. As it does, it is going to unleash a set of 3 attacks. I'll need 3 defensive rolls. All right, so even though it has you by surprise as it launches itself around the corner, you're quick enough to react, managing to evade each one of these attacks. Kurtu would be surprised as well. Now we move to the top of the round. Spectre, no longer surprised. Your turn.
All right, but it's technically turn 2, so I don't have Dread Ambusher or anything.
Correct.
Okay. Well, this guy is next to a buddy, so I'm going to move. Is it still dim light?
It is, yes.
Okay. And I'm going to move over here 10 feet. I'm locked.
Oh, my bad. Forgot to undo that for you. There you are.
How dare you? So 10 feet here. Do I have a clear shot at him? Am I at the appropriate elevation, or am I still too far down?
He's up higher than you, but based on his large size, yeah, you don't have to worry about cover.
He's
from
a big-ass troll. I
Right.
will shoot 2 shots, presumably at advantage, unless he has some way to see me.
These are an
And-
advantage.
Yeah. Bow shot 1, bow shot 2.
The first one misses. The second one does manage to connect.
Classic. So 11 plus 5 sneak.
Okay, the arrow tears into his shoulder, wounding him, but you all recognize that telltale sign of the wound already beginning to heal.
That's what we have a Kurtu for. And so I will not stay in the same place I shot the arrow from. I will come back over here. And that is my turn.
All right, Rasmus.
All right. Rasmus is going to. He reaches back around his back and kind of smiles after dodging a few of those attacks and kind of steadies his feet. And then he's going to take his axe and try to swing at the gut of the big troll with both his hands.
The axe slice.
Inspiration.
Miss. Okay, burn inspiration, reroll.
I want to hit something.
The axe slice does indeed connect. Chopping into the troll and slashing into its rubbery body.
And I'm going to follow up with a signature Rasmus ram headbutt.
You launch forward with a ram headbutt, but miss.
And I'm going to kind of spin around and steady myself and use my bonus action to do some key for patient defense.
Okay, you start getting dodgy. We move to Gale.
All right, I move up. That's my 30 feet to the troll, and I'm going to attack it with my Dragon Slayer sword.
Yes, your sword does indeed catch the troll, wounding it.
And I will do second attack.
Catching it again. The blade cuts into its thigh, opening a large wound. Alright, at the beginning of its turn, you notice its wounds do indeed heal. And noticing Rasmus adopt this very defensive position, it decides to turn its attacks towards Gale. So Gale, 3 defensive rolls, please. You manage to evade the first 2 attacks, but a set of claws do manage to connect with you, slashing into you for 12 points of damage. Kurtu.
So, Adam, what I want to do is move up until I would see him. So
once you leave this bluish area, you'll be able to see at 75 feet. So, I mean, technically, even from right there, you can still see him. So where you're at right now, you can see him.
okay, so I won't have a disadvantage on the shot right there then or anything, right?
Correct. And he's large size, so he's towering over your companions. So you're just kind of shooting at his face, and yeah, no cover.
Okay,
Not
I'm
really
gonna
towering, but
I'm gonna
just-
firebolt him, of course.
Okay. Your firebolt does indeed connect.
All right, I know
Singeing the fur on his arm.
So that was 10 feet. So then I'm gonna come back over here, knowing that last time one came over to you know, to run at me pretty good. So that'll end my turn right there.
Sure. Yeah, top of the next round, Spectre.
All right, back here, 5, 10, 15. I'll make 2 shots. So he got hit by fire, correct? So he is,
To the best of your knowledge, his regeneration has been suppressed.
okay. 2 shots. Bada bing, bada boom. 18,
Miss,
17.
miss. Oh, I'm sorry, right. You're at advantage, so hit both.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 10 plus 2 sneak, and then 9.
Yes, both arrows do indeed connect in his chest, puncturing again big wounds.
And I think the team has got this, so I'm going to stay here just to... He's probably too big for me to body block, but I will be here to discourage him from advancing down the hall further.
Okay, Rasmus.
All right, let's do a good old choppy chop with the battle axe.
That chop will connect. And yes, he is slain as he falls to the ground, still burning and not able to regenerate. As there's no other obvious threats at the moment, I will go ahead and back us out of combat.
Hey Rasmus, how did you not notice this creature jumping out of the way to attack you? What is the matter? Are you okay?
I was trying to walk quietly. I was looking at my hooves. I wasn't looking up. I dodged his attacks though. What are you worried about?
I mean, he's blue, the walls are blue, the ceiling's blue, everything here is blue.
What am I worried about is another ice troll that's lurking into the invisibility. You should be careful.
As you step to there, Rasmus, able to see through the faint mist that covers this higher elevation ground, you notice an odd sight. The empty ice floor of this chamber holds a most unexpected sight. A large shelter is seemingly built of scraps and in the style of the tents used by the desert nomads of Kalimshan, some 2,000 miles to the south.
Is this where the tiefling lady is from, that area?
I don't know, but this is an odd place for a desert tent, you know?
Does seem out of place.
Well, we should approach. We'll be pretty loud. Obviously, there's like a fire.
I mean, we had to cast stuff, and I'm sure the troll was like roaring at us and shit.
Indeed.
And
I think there's elements of surprise anymore.
Yeah, did you not hear yourself yelp when he bit you?
It was his claws. Hello, Makath. Where are you inside there, Lady Makath?
You hear no response.
Maybe she's not home. Maybe we investigate anyway.
Hello, we are brave adventurers seeking Makath. Are you here?
Give me a blind check here, Gale. As you call out and then listen carefully for any kind of response, you hear the sound of slight shifting from inside. You can also hear the sound of a small fire.
Maybe she's bound and restrained. There's a walkway up to the north. Hold on.
Maybe she's sleeping in her tent. Is the fire coming from the tent? Do we see any smoke rising?
You do not. No, but this tent looks fully sealed. Everywhere you look, there doesn't look to be any obvious doorway or open or flap or anything like that. It's just a bunch of tapestries all connected together, very thick.
Hey, wait a minute. Before I go open this thing, because I really want to, maybe we should track. Maybe the person's trapped in there and there's a trap outside of the tent. Who is good at looking for traps? I am not.
I'm not good at looking for them, but I'm good at dodging them.
Well, that's very good to know. I didn't ask that. Spectre, can you find little traps?
I can perceive traps, but investigating for traps is not my forte.
I don't know the difference, so I think you should perceive if there is a trap.
Why not? I'll try. I don't think any of you jokers are going to be better.
Probably some truth to that.
So it sounds like you like to search for traps here, Spectre?
I will search for traps, and I'm going to call my shot, and I'm going to roll a 6. I'm not going to see it because it's a blind check, surely, but I'm going to roll a 16 here.
I like the confidence. You do not find any traps, and I will be honest with you, you did not roll a 16.
Fuck. Well, 5% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, there's 19 other numbers, though, so we have no idea.
What's above our heads? Is what's on the ceiling?
This is just like a carved block of ice that you're in the middle of. So when you look up, you just see an ice ceiling.
Guys, we should be careful. If this person is who we're looking for, she's important and probably does not want to be, whoever captured her does not want her to be discovered. So someone's watching us or finding some way in our efforts.
Yeah, that was probably the troll there that's no longer a concern. Who knows, though? I
That
don't know.
little
It could
tiny
be.
troll guarding this person?
I
Well,
can stay outside while you go inside, and
I don't
I
see
will
any
keep watch.
traps.
I'm going in. If no one else wants to go in, I am going in.
I don't see any traps. Go nuts.
Okay, so I'm going to approach
fine.
Adam and try to find an opening to the tent.
So there doesn't seem to be any obvious opening, but as you're touching along these tapestries, they certainly have give. It feels like you could push them in and try to push your way through.
That sounds perfect. That is what a spring Aladrin is going to do.
All right, so you push your way through these tapestries. As you do, I'm going to reveal a couple things. Those of you on the outside would not see this at the moment. All right, so as you step in, you notice the interior of the shelter is surprisingly warm, thanks to a small stove and simple lamps burning aromatic whale oil. Carpets are heaped on the floor in thick layers, and tapestries from every culture in Faerun hang suspended from a sturdy frame of whale ribs. Books and scrolls are stacked neatly on tables, and reading stands made of hide and whalebone. The only furnishings in the shelter not made from these natural materials are the carpets and tapestries, and a portable writing desk that appears to have been taken from a sailing ship. Seated at the writing desk is a female tiefling wearing a blazoned crimson cloak over tailored furs. The cloak is fastened with a silver and ivory brooch bearing a design reminiscent of a stylized branching tree, the symbol of the Arcane Brotherhood. Two kobold attendants stand nearby, glancing nervously between you and the tiefling. After a few moments, the tiefling looks up with an expression of pale disinterest and asks, "Have you come to save me or kill me?" Not that there will be much of difference between the two.
Well, as a matter of fact, my name is Gale Fuseflaw, and we are here to save you.
We?
I have my friends outside, and we were very trepidatious in our approach to your house. But I came in to see what's going on. But we are looking for you. It's very important.
As are these writings that I am currently reviewing. Very important indeed. What do you need me for?
Quite expeditiously. We are in great need of your knowledge. We heard that you were looking, or you know about the dragons that are going around, and like potentially wanting to terrorize everyone on Earth.
So at this point, not hearing him screaming for help or like being stabbed or anything, I'll just say, "Hey, Kurtu, it sounds like we can go in."
Oh, I hope it's warmer in there.
I'll
I'm
stay
at-
outside and keep watch.
Oh yeah, okay. So these are my friends. This is Spectre. She's a sweetheart.
I don't know
And-
about that characterization.
And then
actually.
next we come into the great Kurtu, who is our fearless leader.
And as
Well,
more
hello
of you
there.
start entering and begin to make introductions, you notice that both of the kobolds nervously push through the tapestry edges and start running. Rasmus, you can certainly see as they're kind of making their way. Is there anything you guys are doing immediately?
Oh yes.
I mean, if they're running, I'm going after them.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna draw my axe. I'm not gonna let him run away.
Fuck that.
So we will
Yep.
enter we will enter an initiative round here. All right.
Oh god damn it.
Alrighty, let me put on some better music. Alright, so first act is this kobold here, and yes, he is going to run as quick as his little feet will take him. You notice the tiefling kind of sighs and looks back to her writing, continuing to trace with her finger on the book. Rasmus.
Okay, this guy's already begun to kind of make his way away, so I am going to move, knowing that it's slippery, I'm going to move at half pace and draw my axe, and then I'm going to try to swing at him from behind.
Your axe does indeed manage to catch him. and kills him instantly.
See you later, dickhead.
Best day
And then-
ever, all over again.
I'm gonna turn and look at the other one and say, "Stop, or I'll cut you in half too."
Spectre.
He's not getting the chance. Is it difficult terrain to get out of the tent?
Yes.
So tell me when.
So basically,
I need-
any place that you want to exit, you can, because where the tapestries line up, there's seams. So basically, just find a seam and push through. So 1 square would be difficult terrain. So wherever you wish to exit, count that as difficult terrain, and the rest is normal.
So 5, 15, 20. I'm back in dim light.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna draw my bow and take my 3 shots because I get to use Dread Ambusher this time. At this
Someone
dickweed.
tells me you're not going to need it on this poor kobold. But go ahead.
I'm gonna. Well, you never know. I could roll that natural 1, drop all my ammo, and then be fucked.
All at
They are
advantage. Oh man,
powerful
that would be bad.
creatures.
That first one
16
will
enough?
hit. And he is
So 5
slain.
plus 6.
So as
Get
he
outta
takes
here.
that arrow to the face, he just drops to the ground.
Fuck you. I say to the kobold and draconic.
To the kobold corpse. Okay, yes. We are out of combat. I will go ahead and put us back to our normal music. Alright, so yes, they didn't find any special way of getting away from you guys quickly. Not that it was expected, but yeah, you did manage to defeat them pretty quick. As you do, on the outside, those you still inside, so Gale and Kurtu, you notice that the tiefling here hasn't seemed to react much at this at all, still kind of just reading down at her book.
Well, I have to admit, Miss McCoth, I was expecting a bit more of an impression of meeting you. You don't seem like you seem very happy and contented in your tent and doing what it is you're doing. What are you doing?
She raises her eyes back to look at you. Don't you realize what is here? All the information that the dragon stole from the Arcane Brotherhood. It's here, and he's tasked me with translating it. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Why would I not be happy to be here?
Oh, that is very interesting. I'm just going to take one more step closer, and then I'm going to say, okay, well, you seem to be happily disposed with this Arcane Brotherhood gathering of information, but maybe you can give us more specific direction and we'll let you go. We are we are eventually wanting to find something with like a horn. Do you know where a drac horn is? Because the people up there needed to make sure it's not in bad hands.
Oh, the Dracon? Well, actually, it was here when I first arrived, but not any longer.
Well, it is
Where they-
terribly important. Do you have any clue that you would want to share with us as to where its whereabouts is, and we could possibly just let you go about your studying?
A group of humans wearing some distinctive robes came to the iceberg 6 months ago, perhaps. They had a negotiation with the big guy, and they took the device away.
So, can you give further description of these distinctive robes?
She describes the robes for you, and as she does so, based on the briefing that you received back in Waterdeep, you clearly recognize these as representing the cult of the Dragon Regalia.
I'm
The
just
cult
writing
has
this
the
down.
draghorn.
I got a question. Do those friendly frog people work with you? Because they were writing down things and tracking different stuff that was stolen as well.
Work with me? Not so much, but very interesting beings, are they not? Quite intelligent. You don't usually see that in those types of creatures.
Oh, they were wonderful. They were very nice.
She nods slowly. You can't tell if this is agreement or just, yes, she's heard what you've just said.
And I should also tell you that I'm not with the other kobolds. This is my friends here, so I don't want you to... Were those kobolds there? Were they trying to hold you hostage, or were they your servants? I'm getting kind of confused. We thought this was a rescue mission.
You're trying to rescue me?
Yeah, we thought maybe you needed rescuing. We thought we were here to help you.
Well, truth be told, I am a prisoner here, but, well, as I've said, the opportunity to review and study this information, it can't not be passed up. I Well, rescue would be ideal, but I would want to take all of this with me.
Can I ask you another question? Who's this? I've heard about this big guy a lot, and there's some ugly trolls that we've downed them and stuff, but who's the big guy? We're confused.
He's confused.
Yeah, he's the only one who's confused. But if you could clear it up for him, then we would be more direct to the point.
And you notice she smiles slightly. Ah, adventurers, always getting along very well. I love to see it. Yes, of course, that refers to Orathator, the old white death, the big white dragon?
Is he here right now?
I don't know. He's not right here. If you mean in the lair, well, he's down below. If he's here, that's where he would be, but hard to say.
So, Miss Bakath, let me ask you this. What can we do to make this, as Leroy would say, a win-win situation? Whereupon you have all this valuable information for the Arcane Brotherhood, but if you're stuck here, how do you purport to actually implore such knowledge unless you come with us with this knowledge and those books, and then we sneak out of here and we go to the Arcane Brotherhood, you rescued, and you have all of this information, and then we become heroes even more.
There won't be any sneaking, I'm afraid. Trying to escape from the iceberg on a ship would be suicidal because Orathator is able to attack from the air. Of course, the dragon doesn't worry about people too much, but once you try to leave, he would know immediately, and he would certainly be coming to take you out. Even if somehow he wasn't aware, if I came with you, my absence would be noticed very shortly, and same thing.
So then
Why does he want you?
He wants me to translate this magical material and try to increase his power. In particular, it seems as though he wants his mate to overcome her, I suppose it's some form of depression, and he thinks that I can help with that.
His mate? Are there two dragons here? Where's she?
Not here. He's been trying to convince her to become, well, I think, more active in the affairs of what he's involved in at the moment, but she's a bit despondent from what I understand.
So Makath, maybe then we need to leave here because we're not going to stay here. But if you choose to stay here, maybe you can give us some information that then the Arcane Brotherhood would know, and we would provide that and let them know that you are okay, because they're very worried about you, and that maybe some more information that you have could help us defend, because we think the dragons and the cult of the dragons who took the Drakhorn might be trying to destroy mankind and tiefling kind and Satan.
And kobolds too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to give what information I can. What specifically would you like to know?
Well, that's just it. You see, we are trying to earn our trust with the group of people who are trying to defend the world from this end of destruction. But to be honest, I personally feel like the cult is trying to bring Tiamat herself into the material plane here and wreak havoc on our Earth. And I think you don't want that either.
That's been a name for the Cult of the Dragon for as long as they've been around. Do you have reason to believe they somehow can do that now?
Well, you mentioned that those peoples took the Drakhorn, which reminded me of the peoples who wear the same clothing of the Cult of the Dragons. That's their purpose, is it not? You're the dragon expert.
Yeah, but Gail, remember when we were over at whatever that town was, like a many episodes ago, right? Didn't we see the spirit of Tiamat?
Yeah, of course. Well,
Sorry,
so,
it's been so long ago now. I'm like going back in time here.
My friend Kortu makes a good point. So we were running around the Ice Spire Peak, and we happened to have to save Fandolin from this dragon thing, and we slayed it. Well, yeah, some of us did, but anyway, that's not important. The important thing is after I or somebody did the final blow, it vanished, and an image of Tiamat emerged and said something very intended towards me, and of things to come to it into addition that the cults have always wanted to do that. I feel like they're getting closer, and that Dracorn might be the key for them to actually bring the goddess herself to here to destroy the world.
No. The Dracorn can't do that. It simply works to signal other dragons and make them aware, and so they might gather. At worst, you'd be looking at a group of dragons gathering together and maybe coming to common cause, but if you've ever seen chromatic dragons try to work together, it's usually very short-lived. As far as seeing an image, that is very simple magic. Keep in mind, Tiamat is a very powerful being. This is not without, certainly within her realm of possibilities. Do you have anything else concrete that would let you suspect that she is somehow able to leave the Nine Hells and emerge into the Prime Material?
Maybe my friends do, but I am a bit aghasted, as Leroy would say.
We were. Hi, I'm Rasmus. We were told something about a castle, Skyreach, Skyhold, or something. There was a large gathering there, and apparently in the aftermath, the Cult of the Dragon stole something or came into possession of something. And if they've gathered the Draghorn, then they've gathered another piece of what they need to start pulling these dragons together. Like you said, they don't usually coerce together, but it seems like whatever the cult is doing, they're gathering power to make them do what they want to.
Well, I suppose that could be concerning, but hardly definitive. But nonetheless, is there some way that I can help you, or if you have a plan of some kind?
What we're tasked with by the Council of Waterdeep, I think that's what it's called, right, guys?
Sure.
The Council, they asked us to retrieve the Draghorn, so to speak, and find out what happened to you. So, what do you need us to do to get you out of here?
Well, for any of us to truly leave, you would have to defeat the dragon. As I said, he will not allow you to leave. So if that's your aim, you would need to go down below and defeat him, ending that threat and allowing us to leave.
You said something about your research or whatever. Do we need to gather that? Is that here in this room?
Primarily, though there is other things to the north of here. That is the least of our worries. Gathering that material would not take too long, and if you were able to defeat Arathator, we would have plenty of time to do so.
What can you tell us about his lair down below? Have you been there?
I've seen some areas of it, but he is naturally very suspicious of everything, so I was never out of his line of sight anytime I was there, only seen very brief bits of it. Well, I suppose I can tell you that it's very large, and from what I've seen there's different areas of elevation there, and ice rises and falls and so forth.
Now, you said that he wanted your magic or your understanding of these languages here and these writings to maybe make his girlfriend or wife or whatever stronger. Do you know any way to make him weaker?
To make him weaker? No, I mean, whatever abilities and powers that you possess.
You seem like a smart woman. Do you have any contingency plans for what happens if he or his mate get tired of you? Surely you must have something.
Surprisingly, he's been quite capable with his magical abilities. Typically, white dragons aren't as potent with these types of things, but he's managed to, well, keep me here, block any type of sending magics, and even block any kind of divination magic. So he's definitely head and shoulders above what I would expect from a white dragon. As far as countermeasures, well, I have my own spellcasting. I don't know how much it would help me to truly get away from him or not, but I have some potential options.
Well, if we're going to kill this dragon, then your help would probably be needed. Do you think you could participate and helping us defeat him.
Or at least
No.
contribute something.
Yes, I suppose I could contribute something, but I personally will not be. No, I'm afraid that is not. I'm not exactly the warrior type. I'm an academic.
Okay. So, before we dive down into this hole and go fight this dragon, you said the cult spoke to the dragon and then took away the horn? Is that what you said?
Yes.
It doesn't concern you that either the dragon has allegiance to the cult or the cult has enough power to persuade him?
Well, truthfully, I did not recognize them as being members of the cult until you explained that to me just now. I'm not exactly an expert on the cult. I've heard of them, of course, and their high-level details. But after you indicated that's part of the cult, yes, that is certainly concerning. But as I said, this has been their aim for as long as they've been around. They've been trying this for many, many, many years. I haven't seen anything materially that has changed that would make people suddenly suspect that they have the capability of actually achieving their aim.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, McCarth, but you are in a tent underground in the sea of moving ice. You have been disconnected from what has been going on in the world for quite a long time. People are dying. A lot of people are dying. Dragons are moving in weird ways, moving to places they don't normally move, and they're attacking all sorts of creatures. I've not been here for long, but I've never seen anything like it.
That certainly is additional information. That tells me that the cult is kicking up its activities and becoming more active. Certainly concerning, and with the Drakhorn at their disposal, if they were able to get some of these dragons to work together, that would certainly be a force worth reckoning with. Certainly, yes, that is concerning, but I'm sure there are people opposing them as well.
And did you
You're looking
overhear?
at them.
Yeah. Did you overhear them talking about where they were going to take the Drakhorn?
No. It was a brief conversation with myself and Orathator, and then I saw him having a conversation with them, or essentially saw it through the ice, you might say, and then they left shortly thereafter. So, no, I don't know the specifics of the conversation. I do know that they took the Drakhorn with them, though.
Just to clarify, they took the Drakhorn from the dragon.
Yes.
Or at least from this area, yeah. So
My question is, I didn't answer my question. Did the great old one, old white death, or Aragathor, hand the Drakhorn to the cultists?
No, it was positioned here. On the iceberg, up where everybody, the humans are, the tents and tribes people. It was up there on one of those. What do you call them? Those tent outlays? Well, whatever it is, where they gather the kids and stuff. It was in that area.
Ah.
So I got two questions for you. They're somewhat different, but why do the tribe people, when we asked them about you, they lied. They didn't tell us you were down here. We asked them about you, and they wouldn't tell us. And the other question is it only trolls that are down here with the dragon, or are we gonna, if we walk around, are we gonna find some other baddies?
The tribe has been silenced by the dragon on pain of death. He kills some of them every now and again if they step out of line, and obviously they have no way of resisting him, so they either do what he says or he kills them all. That's usually a pretty easy way to win somebody's allegiance and silence.
That makes sense, yeah. Mm-hmm.
As far as other things that you might run into, trolls, yes. The ice toads, the kobolds that you've already mentioned, those are the only things that I've seen.
Okay, yeah, it's gotta always know these things. Thank you.
Sure.
Let me ask you this. So we are also been blessed with the encouragement from a deity to come to the aid of these people against the dragon. It was a bear. I forgot the name, Adam. Utu or something. And
Oku.
that one. Thank you very much. Oku. he is also very concerned that. So there's a lot of people who would circumstantially verify that this threat is real.
Is that a question?
Well, you seem like you seem like you need more convincing that this is a very serious threat, and I'm trying to add to the evidence.
I am understanding what you're saying, and the cult being more active is always concerning. I don't doubt that. It certainly seems as though they are getting a bit more active, and perhaps they are setting certain machinations in plan and starting things to go. I do you know how impossible it would be to bring Tiamat to the it would be like if you overheard somebody saying they were going to bring Moradin to the material plane. It doesn't even seem feasible, so it's hard to wrap my head around how that could even be.
Well, maybe while you're studying the books, there could be a clue.
Well, look, I don't want to be rude, but our objective, the mission, so to speak, was not to rescue you. It was to find out what happened to the Draquant. They have already believed you to be dead.
However, yeah, the Arcane Brotherhood wants her back.
Exactly.
So if we can
And the
bring her
knowledge in her brain, her
Yeah.
brain, and the knowledge in those books. So it looks like we have to fight a dragon. Can we defeat this dragon?
That's what we're here for.
It
That's
is
why they
quite
hired us.
powerful.
You said you had something to help.
If you are intent on fighting Orthator, yes, I have a few things that I've managed to craft during my captivity. Perhaps, yes. And you see she starts fiddling around with some different areas. You see she opens a small little box and she places a ring on the table. She says, "This is a ring of cold resistance. You can wear it, take time to attune to it, but then it makes you resistant to cold damage. Quite helpful fighting a white dragon. And these," and you see she fiddles again in this area, and she places two interesting looking arrows on the table. She says, "These are arrows of dragon slaying."
Sounds important.
Well, yes, they
So-
are much more effective at defeating particular opponents, in this case, dragons.
Now, does this white dragon hate fire by chance? Because I love fire.
I suppose as much as anybody else hates fire, it's certainly not immune to fire or anything, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm asking. Because, I just gotta make sure.
You see she nods. If this is truly what you're intent on, I think you could use all the help you could get. Well, I've been saving this for quite some time, but is this truly what you are set on?
Sounds like the most expedient way for everyone to get what they want.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
I also want
when
to just...
I arrived here, there was a different shaman who was seeing over the ice hunters above. And I spoke with her briefly. Surprisingly, she wasn't actually a local. It seemed as though she had come from elsewhere and arrived here and spent some time with the people and ingratiated herself with them and became their spiritual leader. And after a period of time, she grew unhappy with the arrangement of Orthator sort of lording over this area. She spoke with me on a couple of occasions, but I think the dragon began to suspect that her allegiance wasn't with him, and before he could ask for her to be slain, she came to me and devised a plan. She is actually here in this tent, believe it or not, but sealed away through some magic. I could, release her, but once she's released, she can't go back, so this would be whenever you're ready to go down below. That is probably the most opportune time to release her.
Well, that is very
I have a
encouraging.
feeling I know what's happening out of character, but in character, can I insight check this to make sure she's not like bullshitting us? Like, does she seem? It doesn't seem like she wants to leave, but I'm kind of torn on whether that's because she just thinks the dragon's gonna kill her, or if she has some special kind of allegiance to this guy.
Sure, yeah, give me a blind check for insight. I would say you get the impression that Makath here is she's in heaven right now, having access to all this material that she would never be able to actually see. Even back in the Arcane Brotherhood, she probably didn't have the level or rank to be actually view this material. So, in her mind, she's in the perfect spot as far as having access to this stuff. And you get this sort of feeling that she's probably arrogant enough to believe that even if she should die through this pursuit, it's worth it to have access to this information.
Okay, so not like the dragon is giving this to her and she owes it to him, but because she's here, she's got like this opportunity and she's not gonna abandon it easily.
Right.
Yeah, typical wizard BS.
Yeah. She's a geek who's stuck in a library. She's fine.
And it's a really nice library.
Yeah, and the only
Okay.
chance is to kill the dragon. Well, before we go anywhere, I need to have a short rest before I go.
I was going to suggest, how often do the dragon's little pet kobolds and trolls and stuff come check on you? If we were to spend some time in this tent, do you think it likely we would be interrupted, or would you be willing to accommodate us for the
A
time it takes
long
to get
time.
No,
Yes.
the DM's not going to let us do that.
Doesn't matter. You can still ask.
Half an hour.
They do tend to come by every now and again, as long as they wouldn't see anything out there like, oh, I don't know, corpses of enemies that you have slain. You could probably get away with being in here for a short period of time, but not too long, and don't make too much noise. I must focus as I read this material.
Yeah, let's
No
drag
problem,
those
buddies.
bodies behind the tent. There seems to be some room.
And Adam, earlier I said, like, while I was staying outside that I was going to search the kobolds. Could I make a check for that, see if I find anything interesting?
You don't need to make a check. They have nothing of interest on them. You notice they don't even have weapons. These two were acting essentially as attendants, so carrying things, cleaning up, prepping food, that kind of thing. So, yeah, nothing of interest on them.
Every D&D campaign has a little bit of war crime committing. We slaughtered some non-combatants. We don't need to talk about it. It's fine.
Do I believe that I can move this troll by myself, Adam?
Probably only with great effort and a lot of exertion upon yourself.
I will help, and then
Well, he does have
Spectre
a great axe,
Spectre
You
will
could-
get the other two, and I'll help him grab the ice troll and stick it
I'll
behind the
pick
tent.
up the kobolds one by one and move them somewhere. I guess
I will be management.
Okay, so it sounds like the overall plan for the team then is you guys want to get the bodies back here, be obstructed by the tent?
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there like a shitload of blood? Like, do we need the kobold to come cast prestidigitation to clean this up, or
There certainly is some, yeah.
probably should do that, Kurtu?
Hey, management, you gotta go clean.
Useful management for once.
I like cleaning. It's okay. I enjoy it. I'm good at it.
All right, so
Some of you don't know, but that's how I used to get my free room and board.
You definitely managed to get the kobolds over there without too much effort. And then Gale and Rasmus, you're teaming up to drag the troll over.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, and then Kurtu, you're willing to spend, say, 10 minutes or so going around doing your Mr. Clean act with prestidigitation?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So we will assume those events have transpired, and you guys are back in the tent now, toasty and warm, as you notice Makoth continues reading through her paperwork and such.
So quietly in the corner, so that we don't interrupt her like she asked, I'll just say, so probably goes without saying that these arrows go to me. Who wants the ring?
I kind of want it because these stupid hooves. I can't move. I move slow. It makes me easy pickings.
Yeah, it should be either you or Gale. That's true.
I was thinking that Rasmus should have the ring of protection because, to be honest, I have more will to live than you.
You have more armor. I'm naked.
Well, that's
Armor's
true.
not going to do very much against a cone of frost breath, but
What I have Shield Master, so I do get some dex benefit if it's targeting me or a group. So I think he should get the
Sure.
ring of protection.
Yeah, I do have this too, which would, obviously help. But it's not towards.
White Dragon Breath is con save.
Oh, Spectre,
Yes.
revealing secret information.
Listen.
Well, hang on, hang on. What I was
Excuse
gonna
me, we
say
fought
is,
one in fucking Fandelver, okay?
what I was
It's
gonna
not
say is,
secret.
if
Everyone
there's
knows
any
this.
Okay,
traps,
fair enough. Fair enough. We'll give you that one.
I wasn't talking about the breath, obviously, because I know that this is for traps. I was gonna say if there's any traps on the way to the lair or anything, I've got this too to help me not get screwed over.
Sure.
Okay. So
Hey, Adam, I'm not going to role play this out for obvious reasons. It would take too long. It'd just be boring. However, just in my background, remember my guy is looking for a gold dragon, so her being a dragon lady, I am going to have, not a dragon lady, but you know what I mean, her interest in dragons. I am going to go talk to her about the gold dragon, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to mention my dragon's name and just kind of tell her about my tribe a little bit.
I would say you see that she is not really interested in talking to you about any of this, as she said that she wants to focus on this paperwork. So as you kind of like first start talking to her, she seems, vaguely like being polite. But as you start digging into details that are more not related to Orathator or the immediate concern, she essentially just kind of like keeps getting distracted, looking back at her book, and eventually you start to realize she's not paying attention to you at all.
All right, I'll stop when that happens. I just, wasn't sure if the pretend dialogue helped at all.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so guys, hour passes by during this time. Is anybody wanting to spend a short rest?
Probably smart. Because it sounds like we're about to go into some shit.
Here's my
yeah,
last
I only have one, so I'm gonna go for it, Adam, and I'm gonna spend some time attuning to that ring as well.
Okay, make sure to add it to your sheet and then add the A after it so we know that you're attuned to it. So maybe I should have asked this. Is anybody not spending a short rest?
Adam, I may not. Hero points only comes back on a long rest, right?
Correct.
You might not have anything, but I need my key back, so I will do so.
All right, so I've applied a short rest to Spectre, Gale, and Rasmus. Please deduct your short rest in the display. Feel free to restore anything there that is needed to be restored. Remembering our house rules that you do get all of your HP back on a short rest.
So ultimately, we are actually rescuing her. So she's provided us with good stuff. We have a shaman person, so I feel pretty good about this. I think this is going to do well.
I would very much like the sidekick, especially since it sounds like she has some kind of healing power if she's a shaman.
That's a good point. Adam, outside of, I can't remember last time if we talked about this, but can we do the 2 things on your belt kind of thing for this campaign as well that we do on Wednesday night?
Yeah,
Okay.
so just for anybody that might not be familiar with, the basic idea is trying to make this efficient and also make sense logically. You can have basically a couple of items, objects that are considered to be on your belt or within close reach, and when you need to access those, you can interact with object to access them. Anything that's not considered to be on your belt is in your backpack, and that's more difficult to retrieve. Obviously, it's more protected being in your backpack. So, for example, if you wanted to put a potion on your belt, you could do that. If somebody intentionally wants to swing for your potion, they could destroy it by hitting it, as an example. Or certain AoEs could affect your potions that are right on your belt that might not in the backpack, that kind of thing. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, yeah, so pretty straightforward. So if there's items that you want on your belt, maximum of 2, just make sure you indicate that on your sheet. Do just like parentheses belt next to the item, and that will know that item is on your belt.
I just put it in my bio belt, and then I put the 2 items I want.
Yep, that works just as well.
And drinking a potion is an action?
It is, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't have to spend 2 turns doing a health potion, right? Because you would have to action to find it in your bag and then action to drink it. So instead, you got interact with object and then action. So 1 turn, you can do it. Sippy sip.
Yep, just keep in mind where your, what's in your hands and that kind of result. So. Okay, but yeah, with that rest done, as we're about halfway through our session, let's go ahead and pause here, take our 15-minute break, and we'll pick up on the other side with the rest complete and you guys moving on.
See you in 15, guys.
Alrighty, folks, we are back on the second half of our session here. The group is now gone through this rest period in the tent with Makoth and are prepared to move on. So let's get the group back on screen. All right, groups, you spent this hour here in the tent doing a short rest, relaxing. One quick reminder, as this doesn't come up a lot with our house rules, but I just wanted to point out, as a reminder, there are grievous wounds. So if you get hit by an opponent that's capable of doing grievous wounds and it causes a grievous wound, that lowers your maximum HP until you take a long rest. Now the intent, and I'll make sure this is worded better in our documentation, the intent is that can still be cured by magic, but it can't be restored by a short rest HP regen. So just something to keep in mind if you might happen to fight an opponent that's capable of doing that here tonight.
Oh, just if. Yeah, okay.
You never know.
Yeah, could happen.
Aren't we capable of such grievousness?
Not to level 9.
You guys don't really need to deal grievous wounds because the enemies don't get all their HP back on a short rest.
Technicalities. So as we come here, we need to make sure we know directly how to get to him, and we don't fiddle fuck, as Leroy would say, with any other business. No shiny objects in the corner to distract us. We go straight there, and we hit him with all we got. We could do this. Now, if it flies, then, well, that's another problem.
Good point. Is Macath paying attention to us again now that we're getting up and getting ready to do this?
Are you speaking quietly or loudly?
Hey, Macath.
She turns and looks in your direction.
You said you've been down there once or twice. How high are the ceilings down there? If this thing takes off, how likely are we gonna be able to get to it?
About 40 feet from the ground, and from what I remember, there are different areas of elevation. So there are dips and then there are rises. So in a dip area, if he's flying at the height, you won't be able to certainly reach him.
And I've read about dragons that they're very manipulative with their verbiage. You suspect he's going to try to trick us into some negotiation that we'll fall for because sometimes we do that.
Most white dragons, and he's an outlier in some ways, but not in this one, they are aggressive and strong and believe they can defeat anything through their own prowess. It wouldn't surprise me if you hurt him badly enough that he would attempt to flee. There are water passages down there that would allow him to get out to the sea.
Well, they swim too now, huh?
Oh yes, quite capable swimmers, in fact, using their wings almost like fins.
And you said this one knows some magic. Is there anything we should worry about?
Nothing in specific. He's not exactly a spellcaster, but he's used some of the items that he's taken from the Arcane Brotherhood to great effect.
Alright, well, we're gonna go and kill this dragon.
No, we need to be more upbeat about this. We are going to get our little friend from the genie bottle, and we're going to make good friends. And then we're going to go down there, and we're going to go Nova round every round, and we are going to hit criticals, and we're going to slay this thing, bring Makoth back to the Arcane Brotherhood. We will be heroes, and today is a good day.
I'm feeling goddamn inspired.
I'm gonna nod my head and say, yes, what he said.
So let's bust this shaman out and get rolling.
Okay, and as you say this to Makoth, you notice she nods, once again fiddles around in this little desk, and you see she actually pulls out a small whitish flower. It has these kind of reddish berries upon it, And you see she holds it up and just cracks it in half. It's kind of like a twig, essentially, coming out of a little plot of dirt. And as she cracks it in half, you see some of these vapors just suddenly emerge from the twig. And as they do, they solidify into the shape of a person. And as that shape is suddenly visible to you, you see standing before you what looks to be a woman, perhaps middle-aged, with longish platinum white hair. You see she is definitely dressed for the elements. You can see she kind of looks around confused for a moment before looking at Makath, and Makath nods at her and says, "It is time. This is going to be your best opportunity. Besides, there wasn't much time left on that spell." And you see she looks towards Makath and then looks over towards all of you. "You are the best that we have. Well, I suppose I was tired of waiting in there anyway, but yes, well, hopefully that is enough."
Oh, that's going to more than enough. You are very pretty, lady. So I am Gale Fuseflaw, and we have Spectre, and we have Rasmus, and we have what's the other guy? Kurtu. We're
Kurtu.
here. Yes, Kurtu. We are very, very confident of our success, and we're very much looking forward for your companionship here. And it's kind of awkward as he says that.
She inclines her head. "Oh, well, I took a local name when I arrived here, Invigorating Mist, but most of the people back home simply called me Misty, so I suppose that works as well. I study the druidic arts, and I will try to bring those powers to bear for you, though they are quite limited, I'm afraid."
So I'm going to keep talking for 1 minute. If you guys want to keep asking her questions, that would be great.
She's
Here's
dodging
one.
around, trying to prevent you from analyzing her.
Here's one question for either of you. We found one hole in the center of the complex down to the lower level. Didn't seem like a reliable way in and out of there. Is there any other passages that you know of that will get us down there without having to drop 60 feet onto the cold ice?
Makath speaks up at this point, and she says, "Well, there are two entrances down below. The one you're referring to, yes, and then just north out of the tent here, you will find another one. You can descend there. If you take the one that is just north of here, however, be aware that where the dragon typically likes to rook, it's much closer to him from that hole."
That sounds appropriate for us if we're here to kill the dragon. So
The closer, the better.
we don't want to get bogged down fighting some stupid kobolds. Sorry, no offense. Well, yeah, kind of offense intended, Kurtu. Don't want to waste any of our resources on them. Anyone else got anything?
Yes,
Um,
I have one question, Misty. Can you fly? Because I feel like dragons can fly.
She shakes her head. "I cannot fly, no."
Do you have ability to make someone like me fly, for example?
"No. As I said, my capabilities are quite limited, I'm afraid."
Well, I'm sure they're quite adequate, not limited. Come on, we're going to do great.
Kurtu, you can make people fly, right?
I can make one person fly, and it's probably someone who's going to be nice to me, but yeah, one.
I have a bow, so I don't need to be nice to you. But Gale has a Dragon Slayer sword. So maybe if the dragon decides to play keep away, that could be an option in our pocket.
Now, do you have to touch me with your claw in order to make me fly? I don't remember last time you had to touch me, I think.
Let me try to remember.
Yeah,
I think
Let
so.
me read my character sheet.
Yep. Yeah, by chance, it is. The ranger's touch.
Yeah, just don't get hit while he's up in the air. That would be bad for him.
hey, Makath, you got anything for my hooves that will make me move better on this ice?
You see she looks towards her. Well, most people wear boots and then use the crampons on their boots. I'm I'm afraid I don't have anything other than that.
Don't really fit in boots of men.
Well, don't you have the? I know they weren't made great, but don't you still have them on? Maybe since we took the short rest, you can try to rehook them or something.
I spent my time fiddling with that ring. It's okay. I'll be alright.
Well, do we want to do something like put on? So, Misty, we think it's best to go directly where he is because so that the closer the better, so I can hit him with this. Show my Dragon Slayer sword. Do we have all our magical armors up and stuff? Make sure we are prepared.
You see, she looks towards you and says, "Your plan is to swing a sword at a flying dragon?"
Well, hopefully when he's not flying, but that's all I can do. Yeah, so that is my contributive factor to this group. Do you have a better suggestion, maybe?
Well, unless he's incredibly stupid, which I can't imagine, he won't just stand there and let you hit him. He's going to take advantage of his mobility. He will be able to know where you are if you're trying to hide anywhere near him. His reach is great. I hope you had some other magical abilities or magic items or something you could bring to bear.
I have been studying my character sheet throughout the break, and I have found one thing.
Now, let me tell you what I can do. I can cast fire, fireball, firewall. Basically, I like fire a lot. I can cast invisibility on one person or fly, but I don't think the invisibility is going to work with a dragon. But did I mention I like fire? Oh, and I can't, and I have an ability, although I feel a little weakened, but I can, change somebody into, like a bird or something like that. But a dragon would just eat them.
Yes, invisibility would be next to useless, as you have guessed, so, right. Flying, of course, would be very helpful, but if you're the one concentrating on it, we have to make sure that he can't simply get to you and end your concentration.
Oh, I agree with that. Protect the kobold, yes!
At the
So
same time, if we try to group up to protect the kobold, that makes us easy target for his breath weapon.
Oh, I will do my best to hide, but, I mean, these, yeah, I understand.
So, Misty, when you say druidic arts, are you a healer or do you turn to animals? What do you do?
I am a healer, yes. That is where the name Invigorating Mist comes from. My healing powers are, I'm told, fairly potent, but I'm afraid, as I said, they are quite limited, so I will do what I can to aid you in the battle. It was essentially now or never for me, so I will throw everything I have at this dragon.
By chance, are you able to give people some protection by, using your deity's blessings upon us?
It's not how druids work, Gertu. It's nature.
I'm afraid, yes, I am not dedicated to a single deity. I can shoot shards of ice at a fairly reasonable distance. I can heal people, and I also have the ability to take the form of a polar bear.
Oh, I like bears.
Guys, we can talk about this all day, but I think we know how to fight a dragon, right? We spread out, we try our best to not let him fly, we let Kertu hit him with some good big old magic, and we try not to die,
Well, that does sound fantastic, but basically, I was trying to, I mean, I can only concentrate on one spell at a time, right? So I was trying to get an idea of what spells she has, so then that way I'm not double dipping.
Oh, of course, and so. And the obvious thing is that I need to be in melee. I'm useless, obviously. So, and I think also Rasmus is useless unless he's in melee.
I can throw some things.
Guy, though.
No,
Yeah, I can
mean-
throw things and jump high. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I could throw an axe too, but what's a 1d6? You'd want me in front, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I could throw
yeah.
something. I'm just trying to be tactical here. Like, and then
I know. I was just playing. I was RPing Rasmus because he's in no way. He doesn't care for your planning. He's like, let's just go do this. He's gonna rage and try to draw the enemy's fire so you can slash him in the ass.
And then when he flies, we need to try to cover our asses. And then if he flies away, then what?
That is a very good question.
What do you mean? Good question. You shoot him. You're
Yeah.
the shooter. You
I-
shoot him.
Kurtu and I shoot him and hope that we do enough DPR to convince him to fucking land and deal with us before his breath weapon recharges 6 times in the fight.
I do like
Mhm.
the idea of casting fly,
Yeah.
on him. I do think that's a good one. It's just, it would be nice to have bless too, so everybody has better chance of saving throws,
Yeah,
and
but
better to
as
hit.
long as we're not in a cone, so to speak. Like, remember when we fought Cryovane? We spread out really well. And that's really all we got to worry about. I mean,
What do you mean we fought Cryovane?
The stories you've heard.
yeah, Gore. It was Gore, wasn't it? It was Gore.
I know,
No,
that
I think
was
that was
Leroy at that
Leroy,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
That was so many
the
characters ago, I don't remember.
instance that I'm talking about was Gore, though, when we were in the field, not in
Oh,
his lair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the crops.
Yep, exactly.
So as you're discussing this, you notice Makath will look towards you, and she says, "Well, it might be small help, but I also know the fly spell. I could cast it on a couple of you before you head down. It should last at least a decent while."
That
I'll
would be
take it.
extremely helpful.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I love flying. You're just a wonderful person.
But then we gotta go real quick. So
Yeah,
you said the dragon's roost is like right below us, or right down that hole to the north, right?
Well, where he usually is, it's close by. I wouldn't say it's right next to it, but it's close by. Keep in mind, the mist that is down there, it tends to settle down on the ground, so anybody that is trying to remain on the ground, your visibility will be limited. If you fly up near the ceiling, then visibility is more clear, but of course that means he will see you as well.
He can probably see us anyway, right? He's a dragon.
If he's close to you, yes.
Top priority is getting Gale and Rasmus to be able to get to the dragon wherever he is. I'll figure it out. I might be able to find like a vantage point or something. They said the ground was uneven, so I might be able to pop up and down and shoot it when I can see it, and then duck in the mist and hope it's distracted enough to not come after me.
Now, what's the lighting situation like there, Makath? Is it like these lanterns, or is it dark?
There are not the lanterns down below. The dragon does not need them.
Well, then I'm gonna need a torch.
Maybe Misty, do you have light spell to put on to somewhere on Rasmus' horns or something?
She shakes her head. I'm afraid I do not. As I said, my powers are very limited.
No, your powers are very important and not limited. Do not. We are very encouraged by your presence, and you are going to do great things today.
Well, Makath, it would be very helpful if Gale and I could fly.
When you are ready to go, let me know, and I shall cast the enchantment upon you. It should last about 10 minutes.
So we have 10
Longer
minutes to
than
find
we
and kill
will.
the dragon. What happened?
Wait a second, I thought we had the positive elf thing.
That was me. That was Brian.
All right. Well, let's go, I suppose, right?
Yeah, that's a great plan.
And you notice McCaff steps up from where she was sitting behind this desk, and she says, "All right then, see how this works." And you see she motions with her hand and casts the fly spell, and she will touch upon Gale and Rasmus. You both have the benefits of the fly spell, and you see she just focuses her vision for a moment and steps back and says, I will continue to concentrate on this spell. There should be no reason why it should drop, but yes, make best use of your time.
Let's go.
That's 60 feet, right, Adam?
Yes.
Okay, let's move.
You notice
To the
Misty
north.
steps out as well. Okay, Spectre, as you're moving towards the north, noticing again it descends here, getting deeper and heavier with the mist. As you enter this specific area, you notice 3 shelves stand in this otherwise empty cavern, cobbled together out of salvaged wood, whalebone, pieces of giant's armor, and even the frozen limbs of yetis. A number of scrolls, books, parchment, and folios are carefully arranged on the shelves, all bearing the markings of magical writing.
Full story. We're going to look for a dragon. Is
Yeah,
this
that's-
a pit over here?
It is, yes.
I'm going to fly over it and look down.
You look down and you see a shaft that goes straight down where you can see that there is like an icy platform down below.
How far do you think it is below?
Yes, looking down below, you would guess it's about 60 feet down.
Put some pistons on the ground and get down here.
Does it look like we can scale down the side of this thing, or is it like a straight drop?
So this
Spectre, I could just hold you.
So it's a 15-foot wide chute that leads down. Let's see. If you are trained in athletics, you can climb down the chute using crampons or some other device. But no, it's not a like gentle sort of slope. It is a straight down kind of deal.
Okay, I am proficient in athletics. Would it be like an ability check? Does it look like a very difficult descent? Or with like crampons and climbing gear, do I think I could do it no problem?
You think you could do it no problem. Now, again, keep in mind, you will be very limited in your mobility and kind of stuck on the wall if you shouldn't happen to encounter, say, a big dragon right away.
Hey, Rasmus, pick me up. Gail, pick up her too. I'm pretty light.
What about Misty? How's she going to get down?
Drop us off and someone come back.
What if there's a dragon down there? Then she jumps, and we...
No,
Figure
what
it out.
I was thinking, she jumps and I fly next to her, and when she gets within 30 feet, I touch her with my spring Eladrin face step, and she could Misty step to the ground.
You think pulling off that timing will require immaculate perception, almost
Especially while
impossible.
carrying someone else.
Not in a D&D movie.
Well,
I watched that movie so many times. Like, nope, Adam wouldn't allow that. Nope, that's like,
well, that's movies for you, right? They don't have to
Yeah.
follow the rules.
Hang on, guys. I just want to remind you, in Baldur's Gate campaign, Frederick Misty stepped on the back of a hell hornet, so anything's possible.
that was an epic scene. Yes, for sure. Okay, so that's not going to work.
Okay, yeah, we just...
I get out my climbing shit and I start climbing down the hole.
Yeah, Misty, do you know how to climb? Kortu can climb.
I'm just gonna pick her two up. Put him on my back like Yoda.
All right, what does Misty say, Adam?
She looks towards you and says, yes, I can climb down. And as she says that, you see her body begins to transform.
Oh, wow. Okay, we are ready.
Yeah, and so sorry guys, I had somebody call on the home phone, which we never have anybody call the home phone. But anyway, so did I cast fly
What's a
on
home
somebody?
phone?
Yeah, no kidding.
What is that?
I will say we only have it because it gets all of our spam messages and stuff. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So far,
the only
Fly
reason.
has been cast on Gale and Rasmus by Makoff.
Oh, so she was able to cast it twice. Okay. I mean,
she probably
upcast it to
upcast it.
target two. Yeah.
cool. Okay, super. Thanks. Sorry,
Kurt.
I couldn't hear that.
Kurtu, you just climb on my back and I'll fly you down.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so it sounds like your intent is to those of you that can fly, you're just basically gliding down and you're holding on to those, and those of you that are climbing are just trying to climb down.
Yep.
Okay, so you're able to do this. Obviously, the flyers are going to get down much faster. I'm assuming once you get
I
down,
assume they would kind of keep pace with us.
that's-
Yeah,
yep. That's what I was just going to ask. I'm assuming you're staying really close by until everybody gets down and, kind of trying to get all there at the same time.
Yes.
Unless
Well-
a dragon
well-
pops up and breathes cold on us and kills us all immediately.
Just hang on 1 second though. Like if it's a 60-feet tunnel that they've got to cramp on down, that's going to eat into that 10 minutes. So would it be more logical for us to climb down or fly down and then go back and pick up the ones that are climbing? Because we'll be way faster.
You're still talking about 1 minute though.
Yeah, but 1 minute compared to you guys climbing down with crampons for like 4 or 5 minutes. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
I have a ride. I'm good.
And Misty's fine. It's just Spectre.
Obviously, it's going to take time for Misty to climb down. She's polar bearing, like basically clucking on the side and digging her claws in and starting to make her way down. It will take her time to get down there. But yeah, you guys could certainly do it faster with flying.
I'll let Gale pick me up.
Very good.
I'm sure you can do it. I'm not.
Okay, so I'm assuming then we've got 2 flyers holding on to 2 people, and then Misty's climbing her way down the tunnel shaft.
She'll get down there eventually.
Yes. Okay, so
Yep.
you guys continue to descend, and boom, find yourself down in this area.
How much time do we have? How long has it been?
All right, so I'm going to make sure the vision's a little bit weird on these, so I want to make sure I got you guys in the right spot. So not exactly there. I'm going to push you off to the side here. So we will assume Misty's still climbing down, so you don't quite see her at this point as she's making her way down the shaft. You guys find yourself in this elevated area. Visibility is fairly limited here. It is very dark, except for any light that you might bring with you. Rasmus, once you land on this elevated platform, are you then sparking up a torch?
Yeah, I can't see, so let me do the little light torch for you.
Okay, so you spark up that torch, and I'll say once the light suddenly springs into existence, that's where we will lock the tokens. A couple notes, again, just want to make sure that visually you're understanding what it is that you're seeing. So white is the highest elevation. So you guys are currently at the highest elevation. Light blue would be down 10 feet. Darker blue is down another 10 feet. Where you see like this is actually open water. So think of this as almost like a big pond down here. Some of you guys might look and wonder, like, how is this not frozen, right? Certainly a reasonable question. If anybody is really interested in why that is, you can make a blind nature check if you're proficient. You might know. But that is what those represent, is essentially open waters. All right, as you land...
I'm sorry. Just so I understand, this is definitely open water here.
Yes.
Is this also, like, submerged?
No, that is the lowest elevation of the ice path, right? So
Okay.
This is similar to like when you guys were fighting the trolls up above. So you can think
Got
of
it.
this as being 20 feet below. Yeah.
So there's 3 levels.
I mean, unless you want to count the water. So white is the highest, and then light blue is the second lowest, and then darker blue is the third lowest, and then this is truly water.
Roger.
Understood.
Okay.
I don't care about the water. Where is the dragon?
So as you descend, it is dark down here, and then Rasmus lights the light, and that springs into existence. Now that you're truly in a dark area, what I'm going to do is turn off the global lighting here. Okay, so that's going to limit your visibility to what you actually have. So let's make sure Rasmus is good to go.
Yeah, I'm way more intimidated now.
Okay, so Rasmus, you have what you have. Everybody else has what they have, right? And as the light suddenly springs into existence, obviously this creates sort of like a beacon effect. As the light lights up in this very dark area, we're going to change music.
Here comes the dragon. Dragon, 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 dragon.
A ballet. Come on.
And then we are going to move into initiative order.
This song is gonna haunt my freaking dreams.
All right, so with all that complete, let me make sure, so you're no longer locked. So Rasmus, as you land, spark up that torch. You're the first to react. So far, you haven't heard anything. All you've done is create the light, and it's spread out based on how far it goes.
Okay, and if I look upwards, we've got maybe 40 feet between us and the top of the caverns.
More like 60, right? So the whole, actually a little more than 60. So the tunnel itself that goes straight up is 60 feet in length, and then obviously there's a gap between the bottom of the tunnel and the top of this platform of about 10 feet. So from where you're at to the very top, you could think of it as being about 70 feet.
Okay, cool. So on this platform, because I'm shining my light to all my friends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up. Let's say if I've got 60 feet, let's say I'm going to go up 40, Adam.
Okay, so you're flying up into the shaft then, so that your light kind of only shines down upon them, right? And it would no longer be spreading wide.
No, let's say I'll move 10 feet out off of the platform, but stay like floating in the air, and then go up into the air 40 feet from there.
Okay, so because you're at the platform level, right, the white platform, the furthest higher up you can go would be 10 feet. And that would be the ceiling unless you're in the shaft.
Okay, I understand now. So I will go that 10 feet up though, Adam. I'll go
Okay.
10 feet over, 10 feet up, and then let's say I'll move, let's say I'll do, at that height, I'll move another 15 maybe this way.
Okay, so what I'm going to do then is you're at the height level, so I'm just going to add a couple of icons to you so we can put the 10 on there. All right, so now we know you're flying at the 10 feet above platform level.
Yep, and then I'm just going to start scanning because, I'm under the impression that we're coming down here to fight the dragon, so it's got to be somewhere. So I'll take a dodge action, I guess, while I'm in the air and, kind of do like small rotations as I'm looking around trying to see if I can see anything.
Okay, based on the vision length of your light, you do not. We will then move to Spectre's turn.
All right. So I think I might have missed this. How far down is the next level from where I'm at?
10 feet.
Okay. Does it look like I can grab onto the edge and drop it down with no issue?
Yeah, if you want to do that carefully, just call it difficult terrain. You would suffer no damage and you can drop the 10 feet.
Okay, I will do that. She doesn't like being in the light. I know he's up a fair distance, but I am assuming it is covering this whole area.
So as far as bright light, he's using a torch, so 20 feet. Right now, you're in bright light, yes.
Mm-hmm. So I will go ahead and drop down here. And I assume what I see is what I see?
Correct.
Okay. So that was 10 feet to get down here, and then I will start going this way. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I'm going to try to put my back against this thing. This is another elevated platform, I'm assuming, because it's the white color.
Correct.
So I will start scanning left and right, and I will take the dodge action as well, just to see if anything comes this direction.
Okay, so once you get to that area, you're going to notice a bit off to the distance. So in this area about here, you notice a pile of coins that has some various objects sticking out of it.
Can I tell what the objects are, or would I have to use an action to investigate?
On a brief glance, it looks like potions and a couple of scroll cases.
That sounds like a fucking trap to me, but I will keep that in mind.
Okay, so I'm going to stay at the ground level, so I'm only 10 foot above the blue level now, right?
So you're doing the difficult terrain and descending down the 10 feet?
No, I'm flying, so I'm just stepping off I'm 10 feet above the blue level.
Okay, yep, you can do that.
10,
So you're
15.
you're at platform level.
Yes, platform
Okay.
level. There's 30 to there. I'm going to be 60 there, and my feet are just above the platform level. I'm going to take a dodge action looking around.
Okay. All right, before Misty's turn,
Uh-oh.
you will hear the sound of very large wings moving. Okay. You hear the sound of movement. It's hard to pinpoint where this movement's coming from. But I would say before the movement, you hear this loud roar that kind of echoes throughout this area.
No ability to tell which direction, huh?
Because of the way the caverns are, I would say if you had to try to guess, southwest, west, south, somewhere in that vicinity. That's
So I don't want to
that's
be
where
here,
the
is what you're
roar
saying.
comes from.
Okay.
All right, and then let's see one other thing happening here. Okay, then we get to Misty's turn. Misty continues descending on the side of that, having to again do this very carefully as she's not a spider, she's a bear, so she's digging this in and making good use of her time trying to climb down the shaft as we get to Kurtu's turn.
All right. So, Adam, I'm 3 feet tall or short, depending on how you want to look at that. So getting down here, that's just normal 10 feet difficult terrain, or how would you classify that?
Yes, if you're willing to call it difficult terrain, you basically hang off the side, drop down, you suffer no damage, but it costs you twice the movement to get down below.
Okay, so I'll do that. And of course, I can't see Spectre, correct?
Correct.
Right, Spectre is in dim light.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come. So that would be 20 for me, because that was 10, so that would be 20. So that'll be 30 for my full movement, and I'm going to ready a firebolt. Adam, if I see the dragon or an enemy, I'm going to shoot it.
Okay, so as you move out into that direction, getting closer, you will indeed see the dragon there. So let me go ahead and reveal that.
God.
Yeah, so based on your dark vision, you heard the sound of movement, and as you look to the west, you notice the dragon clutching on the side of the wall right now, looking in your way, and as you lock eyes on it, you can see this sort of cold mist coming out of its maw.
Well, then in that case, Adam, I'm going to go ahead, and since I see the creature, I'm going to go ahead and actually cast Fireball.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't need to ready an action, so...
Go on and break out that AoE spell token, bud.
Yeah, and I'm casting it. I'm going to use my my one and only 4th level spell left, Adam. I'm up casting it by 1.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's not put it there. All right. Do I just push it again? I can't remember. Trigger all, right?
Yes. Okay, so the dragon will fail that save, suffering some damage.
And I don't know if it matters, Adam, if you look at that, but because of my, I get 5 points of damage because being the fire. So I don't know if that adds to it, if it's automatically set for that.
Well, this will not be, but as long as that ability applies to whatever spells you cast, then yes, I'll go ahead and take an additional 5 off.
Okay, yeah, it's just
Point out of it.
hey, yeah, you know what? 5
Yeah.
points is 5 points, right? But anyway,
Could make the difference.
before Kurtu's turn ends, he says,
Bye, guys. It was nice. Now I do.
I mean, we all see the flash of light and stuff, like from the explosion, right? So we
You
know
do.
where he's aiming. Yeah, okay.
For a moment, you would even see the creature, and then it would be darkness there again. So before Rasmus's turn... Okay, now Rasmus's turn.
Okay. Because I only have my torch ambiance, can you give me maybe an arrow from my token at the direction that Kurtu shot that fireball at him?
You saw him shoot it off to the west because the platform is in between you. You're flying at 10 feet, so technically you'd see past that. So yes, you saw the fireball shoot over in this direction.
Okay, cool. So I know that this platform is not it doesn't extend forever, right? This one here?
Only where the white is. That's the platform.
Okay, so then I'm going to move. Let's see. I've got 60. We'll move to here. Oh, there's the dragon.
Oh, there he is.
Well, I mean, I was following the direction of the arrow,
Yeah.
you know. Oh man. Okay. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my bonus action right now. Do I want to rage or use it for key? I think what I'm going to do right now, Adam, is I think I'm going to, now that I spot it, and I can only see just a small portion occur to, but I know that none of my friends are like behind me, so I'm going to just take a, I guess, an action to dodge for now.
Okay. All right, we'll move to Spectre's turn.
I see the explosion. The dragon is now in Rasmus's light, right?
Looks that way to
Let's see,
me.
at least the dim light, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
in
I
the
can
dim
still-
light
I can
circle.
still see it if I'm in dim light, but I'm far enough away, I think. Well, it depends on its range of its invisibility detection, I guess. I don't know that. But I can see it because I can see this aura of light.
Yeah, you can see it in the dim light of the torch, yep.
So I'm going to go here, and now I know that we're in combat. Are we saying... We didn't know we were in combat for the first round. Are we saying I don't get my Dread Ambusher then?
So the way Dread Ambusher works is it's always on the first round. So when you come
The
down...
first round of combat, but I didn't know there was a threat here, so we
don't-
wouldn't have known that it was combat.
I don't think it's based on your awareness, though, of what the combat round is.
Okay. That's fine. I'm sure my team will do just fine without my third attack. I'm not salty. So, let's see. I moved 5, 10, 15. I'm going to put some distance between us. It's up on the wall, is that what we said?
Yes,
Or
it's
is it
clinging to
flying?
the west wall.
Okay. Then I'm going to make 2 shots. I'm going to start with the dragon slaying arrows that I got. Well, I guess I'm just going to go Nova here and use them both.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many turns I'm going to last
Right.
in this combat. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a D10 hero point on this to add to that roll. Nice, 2.
We'll take it.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
like
take
flanking
it.
bonus. Yeah.
Hope I don't waste these arrows. So, longbow, that is probably a waste of an arrow.
That will miss.
Can I inspiration to reroll?
You can, yes.
Do you have hero
wanna-
points?
He just spent one.
Does the hero
Oh.
point apply even if I reroll, or
Yes.
would I have to spend another one?
Nope, it still applies.
Okay, so 19.
That will miss.
19 misses. That's not good. So second attack.
Are you going to hero point that second one?
Yep. So another 2. These D10s putting in work. Longer shot. 23.
Will also miss.
That'd be a 23. Yikes.
You fire off your 2 dragon slaying arrows, Spectre, and you notice both of them hit into the wall.
That's bad. Well, that was a waste. Okay, well, that's all I got. I'm gonna go back here. 5. I took 20 movement to get here, I think. So 25, 30, 35, 40. And I'm over here now.
Okay, Gale's turn.
All right, I'll stay at this flight, the platform level 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There's 30. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'll keep my dodge action up.
Okay, so you're taking the dodge action.
Yep. Okay, there it is. I don't know why I did that.
I don't
but-
either.
Oh,
I'm just gonna add
where's my in my turn?
All
There it
right, so you will notice the dragon will fly in this direction, clutching now onto the platform, and he's going to basically be right about here-ish. And as he does, he's now going to breathe a cone that goes 60 feet in this direction to catch the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as he does that, remember if you have a reaction and you wish to spend a hero point to add to your saving throw, you can do that. So I guess I'll just pause there and say something. Okay, yep, feel free to do that if you wish.
So I'm going to go ahead and use absorb elements here because I don't trust my hero points anymore.
Okay,
so that
yep,
also
fair
takes
enough.
our
Yeah, go ahead and burn that.
Actually, Adam. Oh, so if I use, so that would be my reaction if I do that, right? So
Yes.
never mind. I'm going to go ahead and give that's a good point. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a hero point back, and I will use my absorb element. That's a good call.
Okay, I'll let you do it this time, but generally anytime you spend something and see
Oh.
the result, you can't take it back. But
Well,
if you didn't
yeah,
realize there are both reactions, I'm okay with that on this time.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to spoil the game, right? So I'll go ahead and hero point it this time, but it's good for me to know for next time,
Okay.
if I, survive, right?
All
So,
right, that
yeah.
works for me. So, okay, so we've got reaction for Gale, reaction for Kurtu. So, Gale, you're adding 9 to your saving throw. Kurtu, you're adding 3. Spectre, you've used reaction to cut cold in half. So, here comes the cold breath. And,
We click con.
yes, it is going to be a Constitution saving throw.
Nice. Good thing I did that.
Okay, so Kurtu, you are going to fail the save, suffering 56 points of cold damage. Gale, with the plus 9, you will succeed, so that will cut that in half to 28 points of cold damage. And then Spectre, since you cast Absorb Elements, you failed, you'll also suffer half, so 28 points of cold damage. Okay, so that is the creature, or that is the dragon's action, and then its turn will end. Okay, and then other stuff happening. Okay, and then Misty will continue climbing down the tunnel here. So what you're going to hear, Kurtu, from the edge of the tunnel as she's looking down towards you. Let me just check the light really quick. Okay, so you're within dim light. You're going to hear as she does like a roar in your direction. And this acts as a healing word. So you're restored 5 hit points immediately, and then on your turn, you'll get an extra 9.
Who gets that?
That is at Kurtu. And she is continuing to try to climb down. Now, at the end of Misty's turn, the dragon is going to use one of its legendary actions to take a tail swipe at Kurtu. So, Kurtu, defensive roll, please. Okay, so you see the tail coming in your direction, and you manage to just do a little barrel roll out of the way as the tail smashes right next to you and almost makes a little crater in the ice. Okay, now before Rasmus's turn. Okay, Rasmus's turn.
Okay. So, I guess the best thing is I probably heard or saw, because it was in my light, that those arrows went towards the dragon. Did I see what happened at all, Adam? Did it go right through her? Does she look like or him? Does he look like a physical form that I can attack?
Yeah,
He
that's
does,
what I was.
yeah. Yeah,
was
so it looked like
thinking that.
both of the arrows struck the wall.
Okay.
I miss with a 23. I'm sad.
So I will rage
Okay.
as my bonus action. Let me click my button. All right. So bonus action rage, and with my movement, I know it's not a lot, but we're gonna add it for flavor. As I'm gonna move into like a little 5 foot, like this, and then come in for a flying headbutt with my ram. And
Okay, so as you move away from the dragon, trying to get descriptive, but unfortunately getting out of the dragon's reach of its claw, it will take a reaction attack with its claw against you.
from his ass, he did an ass claw attack.
Well, keeping in mind, facing is one of those things that's always a little bit challenging in this because everybody's essentially facing in all directions. Okay, so as you try to evade, let me just double check that. You do indeed manage to evade as the claw swipes over your head.
Perfect.
Great
Where that claw comes up to like kick out at me, I'm gonna like go in for like an armpit with my headbutt. So I'm gonna hero point. Oh, you son of a bitch! And then I'm gonna do my ram.
That will miss.
Okay, and then after I miss, I'm gonna kind of bring my battle axe up and try to do like a chop, two-handed chop.
With another kick-ass.
Ooh,
hero.
inspiration. Nope, I don't have it.
I
Damn
was
it!
gonna say I felt like you already used yours, but that will.
It's
miss.
my extra attack though. I can't critical fail anyways.
Right.
All right. And well, I used my bonus action to rage, so that's pretty much all I got. It was a very flashy display of me missing.
Okay, now at the end of Rasmus's turn, once again that tail is going to flash down towards you, Kurtu. Now, I'm trying to I felt like we skipped Kurtu, didn't we?
No, I went last. So, well, maybe you did.
I think we did because you were supposed to be after Misty, and it got
Yeah.
its So I think when it did its legendary attack, I accidentally advanced it one. So yes, let's make sure we give you your turn first. We won't change the order, but we'll assume this happened before the dragon's next legendary action. So go ahead and take your turn now, Kurtu.
Okay, so I added the 9 that I got from Healing Word.
Okay, perfect.
Just because I feel this is Kurtu's bye song here, I'm going to go ahead and cast Fireball at level 3.
Okay.
All right, so is that good?
If you like where it's at, absolutely. Go ahead and trigger all.
Okay.
Okay, so you will notice the dragon fails the save, but it's going to choose to succeed anyway, so I'm going to give it half of that HP back. And then we'll
Okay,
add
and also,
your 5.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And then I'm going to do something called the Cobalt Shuffle. There. And if it didn't attack me, that'll end my turn.
It did not. Okay, so that, now technically your turn happened right after Misty's. Then we had some stuff happen. Then we had Rasmus go. So Rasmus, at the end of your turn, before we would technically move to Spectre, now this is where it's going to take its secondary legendary action and try to hit you with its tail. So defensive roll.
Okay, because I tried to. I don't think. Hang on one sec. Okay, it just says if you make an attack. It doesn't say if it hits, so I've got a +2 to whatever I roll there.
Right. Okay, so yes, you managed to evade the tail, and then we move to Spectre's turn.
Alright, Spectre's turn. I'm gonna go ahead and go... Thinking the problem is that I was too far away, I guess. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I have a clear shot at it now?
You do, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna take 2 shots at... Actually, first, let's be smart and use our hunter's mark. Is that worth doing? Took 30 to get here. I'm probably gonna take a bunch of damage anyway. How many spell slots do I have left? Yeah, I will cast Hunter's Mark on this dragon.
Okay.
So that is my last first level slot. So Hunter's Mark on him, and then I will make my 2 shots at him. I will use hero points again. So D10. 5 is a little better. Longbow shot.
That will
Please
hit.
tell me that hits. Thank fucking God. So 10 plus 6 sneak because Rasmus is next to him, plus the 1d6 from Hunter's Mark. Big ol' 1. Second shot, same thing. Hero point. 6. Shot. Come on. I think I clicked hero point twice.
You did. I'm noticing also it's not saying it's reducing your hero points.
Yeah, so I've spent 3 so far, or that would be the 4th one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that manually, and then we'll figure out what the fuck is going on there
Okay.
later. But it may not matter because we might all die here, so maybe.
So
So
adding
here comes
4 to this, or I'm sorry, we're adding 6 to this next attack.
adding 6 to this.
That will hit.
22. Hell yeah. 11. So I'm guessing the problem was I was too far away last time because I got a 23 and didn't hit.
I'll be happy to
Or it
confirm
was
for you
dodging,
after the battle.
Yeah. So I got 10 more feet of movement, so I'm going to go over here.
Okay, yes, you managed to back away. Okay, before Gale's turn, it will take its third legendary action, once again trying to hit you with that tail, Erasmus. Another defensive roll, please. This time it does manage to hit into you even with that +2. You will suffer 14 points of bludgeoning, cut down to 7 because you are raging. And we move to Gale's turn.
All right.
Yes.
I'm moving 35 to there. I already counted. Obviously not going to be dodging. All right. Had plenty of time to think about this. I got my Dragon Slayer sword out. Hero point the shot with the Dragon Slayer sword. And then I'm going to try to menacing attack. So it says that when you hit a creature, the weapon attacks. Let me see if I hit him with that first.
That will hit.
All right, now I'm going to hit the menacing.
Okay, it is not affected by your menacing attack, but we will add up this damage.
Okay, and then I will do a second attack with. And I still get the damage off my D8 off my superiority die. I need to roll that. There's the D8 for the menacing that failed.
Okay, applied.
Okay, second attack with a hero point. Why do I hold him, right? And then second attack.
Dead heroes have no hero points.
Ooh.
Woo!
Holy
hit.
shit.
Yeah, let's roll that up, see what that is.
Please don't give us that. You call that a crit? This is not the time for it. Nice.
A true
Hey, that's
crit.
nice. That's okay. That's okay. That's
All
good.
right, so I hit him. So here we go again with the menacing.
That would affect him, but it doesn't.
Ah,
Legendary resistance 2.
here comes my D8 for it, though.
You get
Ah,
2
Yeah, you'll
d8s.
get 2 of the right. Another one for the crit.
Look at how sad he sounds.
All right,
I'm
now
happy for you guys.
I'm gonna roll the Dragon Slayer crit. Here we go.
Oh my god.
So I got 38.
20 plus 16 is 36, plus 2 is 38.
Yep.
Sounds like it to me.
38 plus the 6, so grand total of 44. That's a walloping hit.
All right. Now I don't see his health
Smite him!
bar.
Smite him!
I don't see his health bar, Adam. How are we doing?
You've certainly wounded him.
All right, health bar is hidden. That's okay because I'm going to Nova right now. I'm out of hero points, but I'm going to go for it again. Let's see what I get.
That hit will also hit.
All right, I got 3 superiority. So it's not affecting him, but I'm still getting the damage from it.
Oh, by the way, I
Um,
forgot my Hunter's Mark on my second attack, so.
I'm going to keep doing it just as fighting flavor. I know he's probably not affected by it, but I want my D8. So I'm going to do Feint
Nice.
attack on it again. I'm sorry, menacing attack.
Nice.
he will be affected by that.
You get my extra D6,
Excellent.
Adam.
Yes.
All right, so he's feared me. This is the second dragon I've feared, guys.
Starting to see why Tiamat doesn't like you.
All right, now here comes my. Let me get my roll for my Dragon Slayer.
Okay, wounds him again.
All right, here's my fourth attack of this round. I'm going to inspire.
Flanking?
I'm going to inspire that. I don't think that's it, guys.
Okay, so you use inspiration to reroll.
Ah.
That will miss.
All right, so that's that. Bonus action, second win. Whew. Now I'm going to. I think he used his reaction, so I'm going to go 5, 10, 15. So that puts me 35 and 50. That puts me 50 there. Could I go there for 60, Adam?
Yeah, you could.
All right, I'll end my turn, guys, and I'm going to add
Good job.
my stuff. Thanks, bud.
All right, so you step away from him. He is very happy to see you do that. So I'm going to show you where you left off on his HP bar.
I can't see it because
Oh,
I'm
God.
seeing.
He
Oh.
is not going to disengage now. So Rasmus, you can certainly take a single opportunity attack.
Am I allowed to hero point an opportunity attack since I'm rolling it?
I'd say rule of cool, yes, but let's see what the
I
DMs.
always forget what our rules are on this. I got to double check because usually a hero
It's
point is like a
so
reaction
nebulous.
thing.
Well,
It's
if I
not
remember
technically a
correct,
turn,
So
so
the way
you would
it's
have to use
worded
the
is a
reaction.
Yeah.
hero point can be spent on the player's turn. So if it's not on your turn, so no.
Plus your reaction, so yeah.
Right.
okay, but I can do this, right?
No, because this is
On
on
your
your
turn.
turn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it, man. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Two-handed swing.
Go,
Let's
go, go.
Big money, big money, big money.
Yes.
That will hit.
All right, now what I can do is, I believe. Hang on.
Were you raging too?
I am raging,
Yes,
yeah,
right.
but hang on one second. Yes. All right. So it says when you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack, you can spend one key to attempt a stunning strike. So I'm gonna
Okay.
spend that key to attempt that strike. So let me use key. Stunning strike. My DC is only 13, Adam. But what do you want me to roll? Just a
What has it
D20?
got, like a plus 13?
So
Something.
Maybe.
I think that's. Don't we have that built in for you?
I don't think so. Unless you're seeing something on my sheet, I'm not. But I don't think so. Do you want me to try a spell effect roll?
No, because that's not going to work. 'Cause it's going to want to pick up like a stat. Just roll me a d20 and we'll factor it in. Okay, so that's going to be 11 plus your proficiency mod is 3, so 14 plus your strength, so 4. So let's see, 7. So that's going to be an 18. So your effect roll is an 18, and his con save is higher than that.
Okay, here's the damage for the battle axe.
Big money.
Okay, so he will be
big
wounded
enough
by
for me.
that axe slash as he's leaving. So he flies down to this pool 60 feet and then dashes to swim away. If any of you guys have some kind of special going in the water things that I'm not familiar with, obviously you can certainly try to catch him, but for all intents and purposes, he's off map by a good distance.
So we can't catch him.
That's what I'm thinking, but again, sometimes I don't remember things that you have, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so after that, then we would get to Misty's turn, and Misty now descends and drops the last little bit down below in her polar bear form. Okay, then we move to Kurtu's turn. So obviously there's no immediate threat that you're looking at here. But we will remain in turn order for the period of time.
All right, what I'm going to do, Adam, is I'm going to try to go over here. That's what I'll do. I'll just go there and I'll ready a firebolt. And that'll end my turn.
Okay. All right, so before Rasmus's turn... Okay, Rasmus's turn.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna fly into the general direction that let's just say to here, and I'll take a dodge action.
Okay, Spectre.
Did I see where the dragon went? He was in the light for a little bit.
He flew southwest out of your vision.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. I know turns are semi-simultaneous. Do I see like ripples in the water where it dived in?
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Ah, fuck, we're not catching it if it's running, but just keep an eye out, make sure it doesn't come back. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I will ready a bow shot if I see the dragon or any of its fucking asshole kobolds, trolls, whatever, come out of somewhere in our vision and to fuck us up. I'm gonna shoot something.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Gale, your turn.
30 to there, half my movement. And I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. There's my full movement. And he feels good, even though he thinks maybe the 18 would have actually hit him. But that's fine. We're still winning. And so he will take the dodge action and be happy with that. Now, can I Misty Step while flying into a space that I can see that I can fly? Actually, never mind. That's a good question in general, but I'm not going to do it.
I think the answer is yes, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. End my turn.
Okay, so before Misty's turn, all right, so just looking at our remaining session time, what I'm going to say is what would occur here is there's 2 ice trolls that are basically coming you guys' way, so they would just kind of get onto the outside of the map here this turn. But based on, again, how much time we have left, I don't think there's any chance that they're going to be able to kill you guys. And with flying, so what I'm going to say is you guys managed to defeat these 2 opponents, and we will call that the combat.
Kick ass.
I had him with an 18
I'll
because
take-
of the flank.
Okay, so after battle, did I miss because I was shooting at disadvantage for some reason?
Yes, so he was dodging, and you were
yeah.
in the blind sight range. So as a reminder, with some of these opponents, particularly the ones that are, kind of marquee opponents, if you might like to say, what I like to do is tweak some of their abilities, because I know some players know the stats really, really well. So, for example, again, I'm just assuming you kind of knew this. Blind sight on a typical dragon is 60 feet. I noticed you stepped exactly out of the 60-foot range.
I didn't do it exactly, but because she had told us that the dragon can sense invisibility from a certain range, my thinking in character would be that she would want to be as far away as she could without like shooting,
Right. Yep. And that makes sense. But yeah, like I say, so what I always try to do for some of these is just tweak them a bit. So for example, you notice you guys didn't have to save against Frightful Presence, right? So this dragon doesn't have Frightful Presence, but it has an extended blind sight radius. So the idea so it's just to make it where it's not just totally knowable and you know exactly where to move, that kind of stuff. So
Understood.
But yeah, so you guys have managed to defeat Orathator, and yes, he has fled through into the seawater there. The additional trolls sort of come over this way, climb up. You guys manage to defeat them. Once that is done, with Orathator having fled, as I mentioned, you did see a pile of treasure in this area. What is it you guys would like to do?
I will say
Investigate.
I would say that the efforts would be to look at that pile of treasure and then ultimately tell Makoth that the dragon's severely almost dead, wounded, and leaving, and it's time for us to go. That would be our 30,000 foot goal for me.
Hey, Adam, just out of curiosity, can you tell us how much HP was left on the dragon?
18.
Yeah, dang, that's cool.
So maybe I could have got him if I stayed there too. But I thought for sure he was. I couldn't see his stat bar. Dang it.
Well, and yeah. So when you were still there, I was like, so he's going to disengage, get a distance away. He would have got into the water, but not much into the water, like 20 feet. So he would have technically still been targetable there. I don't know if anybody could have got there and hit him, maybe. But yeah, because he doesn't want to take another hit from that dragon sword because it obviously really messed him up.
Yeah.
That was good shit, Brian.
Nice. Yeah, that was a couple points there, buddy.
That was fun. Have to use the dragon sword against a dragon.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what it's there for, right? Like that's what the marquee moment for that sword. Okay, so yes, so essentially what you would notice in this area is quite a bit of coins and then some of these other objects. Now, most of these objects, what you're going to notice are actually like the items. The coins kind of rest on top, but then the items are buried in the ice. So you can look down and see like a couple feet down. You might see a potion. There's a couple of like scroll cases that are in with the coins as well, so those are easily accessible. But some of these other things are buried down in the ice. Those of you that are familiar, maybe to some extent with white dragons, might know that this is pretty typical of what they do. They sort of bury their stuff in ice to make it more difficult to track. So give me an idea of how much time you're willing to... Well, okay, I'll put it this way. Recovering everything in here would take you half a day. Are you guys wanting to spend 12 hours to try to recover everything that's here, or take what's easily accessible and get out?
What do we know about how long it takes dragons to recover? Like, I know they're my favorite enemy, so I feel like I have some kind of knowledge about dragons. Like, if you chase one off, is it likely to come back within like a few hours to try to fuck you up, or...
Within a few hours? Probably not. So most dragons, I would say, have multiple layers, and if they get hurt badly at one layer, they might retreat to another layer, for example. I would say you don't expect this dragon to come back really quickly, but then again, 12 hours, that's a pretty good chunk of time, so certainly possible.
Also a little bit of flavor. This Misty girl whole thing was to get this dragon, and
I'm gonna wait here for thousands.
Two turns. What was it? 2 or 3 turns. She got down. Like, hey, we got rid of him.
Right. She basically just got to the platform. So.
She just got here. Like, what's up? What did I miss? Oh, we won.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I say we smash and grab. Like, get what we can. Get Makoth.
Yeah, fuck
and
this.
Get out of here.
We're here for Makoth. We're here for her research or whatever.
And I will also just remind you that we do have a bag of holding in case that's helpful.
It is. Dump it all in. Whatever we can. Maybe an hour, guys? What do you think? Dig through for an hour?
I would say at least 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking 12 is a lot, but look, let's do like a 6 to 8 hour time. I mean, we're talking about a dragon horde.
Hang on. We have the fly spell active, right? Does it look like we can get back to the chute without it?
Well, it's going to drop in 8 minutes anyway, or whatever.
Yeah.
No. I mean, if you go up the shaft without fly, you're going to have to break out like a grappling hook or something like that just to get up all that way to be able to climb.
I have rope trick, and I would actually like to use that for once. So that will make a rope that goes perpendicular to the ground up to 60 feet in the air. So we can climb the rope, and then the rest of the way we can just like swing over and...
Is that how that works? Yeah, go ahead and put. If that's what it says, then yeah, that would work.
I read a blog post about what to do with this fucking spell when I realized that I couldn't do anything that I thought I could. So unless the blogger could be an idiot too. Let's post the spell and see what happens.
If it's on the internet, it's facts. Okay.
Yeah,
true.
Do you really think someone would go on the internet and tell lies?
I've never once experienced that.
Yeah, no, that would work. So essentially what it's saying is it goes up to 60 feet up. So,
yep.
One of the rises.
We wouldn't get all the way, but we would get far enough into the chute that we could just like jam our...
So it's 70 feet up. So if you go to the platform and use this, there'd be 10 feet between where the entrance to the extra-dimensional space is and then the ceiling. So yeah, you could certainly, and then with the crampons, I would say, yeah, you're pretty sure that would work.
Yep.
And I
That's
will
what
just
we'll do,
say,
so we have enough time to.
So is
do
that
it.
enough for us to get off? Because it's not like I could fly up, put some pistons on the ground, and throw the rope down too.
I'm laughing
So,
every time you say piston.
Yeah,
you
I
mean
know.
Tetons, but yes, absolutely, you could do that too.
well, Gail's in my head. He doesn't know the words very well.
Look, guys, I know it may be intimidating that a dragon could come back, but at the same time, like, let's think about it. I mean,
We fucked it up.
yeah, if it did come back, we have a big advantage over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Just
So let's.
post a watch from where it went, and the rest of us can dig out
Well,
what we can dig out.
and here's the thing, Adam. We could go ahead and just do 3 or 4 hours, see how much we collect, and then kind of roll again or something, whatever you feel is appropriate.
What time is it?
Let's see. You guys came here. I feel like it should be late afternoon by this point in time. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Late afternoon.
Let's go into like sun. Well, I guess we don't know when sunset is because we're like underground, but
Right.
we would feel how long we've been awake, kind of. So, we want to like report what happened to the townspeople up above and to McCath and have those conversations. I don't think we want to like set sail in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So, well, I guess let's just figure this out, guys. Let's spend 4 hours searching through the treasure, put everything in the bag of holding, climb up, talk to McCoth, convince her that she needs to come with us now. You're free to go. Get all those books, and then we rest on the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, the shaman. She sent us down there. We need to report back to her and say, hey, we did it.
Well, kind of. We drove the dragon off, but
Yeah.
it might come back, so they probably don't want to be here when that happens.
Yeah, they need
Yeah,
to.
they should hightail it for sure.
Yeah, so we could tell the shaman, hey, we did this thing. Thanks for letting us down there. You guys need to fucking leave, and we're out. See you, peace.
Just uproot your entire life, your existence. We took care of it for you.
Yep, it's time to move on. Just let it behind you, man. Burn the bridge.
Come back to
Okay.
Waterdeep. We have snacks.
So what you can grab quickly. So this is what you get, I would say, with 20 minutes of work. So that's the stuff that's easily accessible. It sounds like you guys want to spend, did I hear 6 hours in this area?
No. I'm
Let's
thinking
talk.
4.
4 hours.
I vote 4, guys.
Yeah,
I vote
let's
2, so let's average to 3.
well, let's go
Scared.
Well, let's go 3 and see what happens then, if that is okay with Adam.
Okay, 3. Yeah, let's just make it easy on Adam and just say 3.
Okay. And you guys, I'm assuming, have some kind of either crowbar, shovel, something like that you can use to start breaking through the ice?
I bought that mining pick. Let's go.
Okay, so that'll definitely do the trick. So we're going to allow a little bit of randomness here. So I'm going to click one of these, and we'll see what you guys get after your 3 hours worth of work. Okay, so within the treasure here, this is actually part of the module. It says, roll on this table. So you guys will find some art objects. So if somebody would like to roll 2d4.
Not it.
I got it. 2d4.
Rasmus do it. He's doing all the counting, so we'll let
He's
him
got
roll it.
Hey,
got the
7 looks
hot
good to
dice.
me.
7
I'll
art
take that.
objects worth approximately 250 each. And then if you want to roll a d4 for magic items on table H.
All right, I did that one, so someone else did this one.
Are you sure? I fucked up a lot in this.
No,
game.
you're doing
for
all the treasure stuff. Just do it.
There you
Yes.
Sorry,
More
I just
magic items on
panic
table
rolled.
H.
Yeah, you can keep on rolling for us. That's fine.
It's his job from now on.
Hey, he's doing the hard work of keeping track. Thanks for doing that. But
And he has the pick.
Okay, so let me find table H real quick. I know this is going to be some like percentile roll type deal.
Yeah, a little D100 action.
Yes.
Or
let
is it,
me-
I guess, 4 D100s, huh?
Yeah, I think it will be that, but let me just pull it up to be sure before we roll anything.
Look, guys, there's 4 of us. Each of us should roll 1, and then you keep the item you roll. Boom.
Well,
no.
We might have to min max. We might have to optimize a little bit, but I'm down to roll 1 each.
Okay, so table H.
That's deep
For-
into DMG too, by the way, guys.
Heroic. That's what I'm thinking. Table H,
Hell
heroic.
yeah.
It's not table B, that's for sure.
Who would like to start first?
Kurtu, our fearless leader.
Go,
Fearless
Kurtu.
leader.
D100. A silent.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Whoops.
So you are going to find a weapon. And let's see, for that specific weapon, I don't think they have a random weapon table, but roll me another D100. I'll see what closest I can get. Okay, you are going to find a scimitar in the ice. All right, who would like to roll second?
I'll go. I haven't done anything for a while. D100?
Yes.
There you go.
Look at
Get
that.
on that other end.
Well, it's not necessarily.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
It's
You
the
will
super.
find a suit of studded leather armor.
Ooh.
That's good for you.
Maybe. I do have monk on armored defense, but it might be better.
All right, and who wants to go third?
I'll go.
Yeah, you got it, Gale.
All right, give me those boots of flying. Come on.
There you go.
Called it.
Kobe.
You will find a chain shirt.
Oh, great. I already have adamantine armor. That can't be critical.
All right,
Sweet.
here we go. D100.
And you will find an ion stone.
Oh, those are cool.
Yep, there you go.
All right, now let me make sure I write all these down that you guys don't know what they quite are yet so that I know what they are. Okay, good to go. So I've got those documented to make sure we can't forget what those were. So yes, so after you guys spend about 3 hours carving through the ice, you're digging down, you're noticing things, having to dig off to the side. These are the items that you're able to recover in that time.
Any more gold, or is that the 20? That's what we got in 20 minutes, way back up there.
Yes, it seems like all the coinage was basically at the top, and the more you might think of this as precious art objects and magical items, potentially, which you know because it was on table H, but we're very deeper in the ice.
Okay, cool.
What's left? Can we tell how much?
There is stuff that is like deeper down. Again, half a day, so I would say you probably feel like you'd have to spend another 6 hours or so before you'd be able to roll on something again.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
go up.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's not press our luck. We did good on that little smash and grab, and let's get out of here.
All right, and your intention at this point is essentially to get back up using the rope trick and then touch base with Makoth, let her know what the situation is, and then try to get out of here entirely.
Yeah,
Well-
we'll see. We'll have to see what she says because
Yeah,
we defeated the dragon. We didn't kill it, but I don't know if that counts or what.
but
so-
we also want to make sure we talk to the shaman to let her know that we did what Uktu.
we drove it off.
Yeah, we drove
Put
it
it
off
in the best possible way.
Yeah, we drove it off and tell her, and thank her for that. And the tribe should be able to try to hide themselves, and then we're off.
Well, I will. Just for role-playing purposes, Kurtu is going to want to tell the frogs and the other kobolds that the dragon ran away, and if they want to leave, to go ahead and find a way out of here, if that's what they want to do.
Okay, so again, based on session time, what we've got left, I'm just going to do this in a bit of a summary basis. So Makoth is more than happy to come with you once you explain that you've run the dragon off. She basically says you need to set sail ASAP because, yes, the dragon will definitely want to come back, but you'll be able to get a distance away, and then it's unlikely the dragon will try to chase you down. If you explain essentially how quickly you defeated the dragon, she's even less concerned at this point, saying that, if the dragon does approach, again, with a fly spell, and you guys' ability, she thinks that you guys would be able to defeat the dragon even if it chased after you. So she's not too worried at that point. And yeah, I think Misty would be explaining like, yeah, I didn't even get down there and it was already gone kind of thing. So it seems
I
pretty...
nudge Gale and I say I think she's impressed.
It seems pretty conclusive that like this is not as much of a threat to you guys. As far as the ice hunters, letting them know, letting Bone Carver the shaman know, obviously she's appreciative of this effort. She seems to account that yes, you were Oku's chosen warriors sent here on her behalf, and so she's happy that you guys been able to accomplish this. She explains that she's going to do everything she can to try to get the chieftain to agree to basically move the entire tribe so that when the dragon does come back, they won't find the dragon won't find the tribe here. And if they can get somewhere else out of the range of the dragon, then that's ideal. The only, I would say, potential issue here that is not resolved is, if you remember, there was the one guy in the furs and he was kind of all bundled up but still sick. The tribe, unless he can be cured of his illness, the tribe essentially doesn't want to take him with them because they're worried about like the illness spreading. So this would be an opportunity if any of you guys have the ability to cure illnesses in any way or any items.
Does our druid friend do?
Yeah, I was going to say, what about Misty?
Unfortunately, she does not have any of that kind of ability. So, like I said, her abilities are fairly limited. So, no.
Well, that's fine with us because I think we're more focused on the global aspect. And that guy, just some people have bad luck.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be okay.
Okay, so fair enough. So it sounds like you guys are agreeing to go. So in summary then, we will assume you guys have exited this area, informed both the tribe, and you're with Makath now on the ship heading back to Waterdeep.
Yeah. Did she get all her stuff out of here?
Yeah, so during the time that you guys were, chipping away at the ice and that kind of thing, because she didn't hear from the dragon right away, she assumed that maybe you guys were successful and kind of started gathering things. So yeah, she has all her stuff. Kurtu, when you let the ice toads know about this, Makath recommends that you actually convince Marfolb to come with you all. Is that something you want to try to do?
Oh, of course.
Try.
Give me a blind check to try to persuade Marfolb to come with you.
It's probably fine.
Marfolb seems more wanting to stay here, knowing that the dragon might come back, but the dragon basically always treated them decently well, so they're not too worried about it. So yeah, she seems to not want to come with you.
Great, less mouths to feed. Let's go.
All right, so
Get out of
with
here before it
that,
changes its mind.
yes, with that in summary, you guys make your way out of this area. So it's your group and Makath and Misty back on the ship with the captain. And obviously Jenkins is back with you as well, as you guys all make your way back and start the long journey across the Sea of Moving Ice back towards Waterdeep. So yeah, that's the basically the end of our session. I always forget. Does somebody have Identify?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't anyway. I don't.
Okay, so it sounds like we'll have to wait until you guys get back to somewhere like Waterdeep, of course, where that service is easily obtainable before you
Does
guys
Makath
will...
have it?
I'm sorry, does who?
Does Makath have it?
Good
She's
question.
Arcane Brotherhood spellcaster.
She does not.
Yeah, sucks to be her. What do we keep her around for anyway? I stab her and throw her off the boat.
No, she's kind of more of a battle type of person. So, at least for her spell selection.
One thing we forgot to say: those arrows. I mean, we.
Oh,
maybe,
can we? Yeah, could we recover them? Did they stick in the wall, or did we lose them in the water?
They might have been. Let's do it percentage-wise. Let's say 50-50, and just roll, pick high or low, and then just roll two 1d100s, and then we'll see if you're able to recover them.
I kind of think, don't they lose their power after you use them anyway?
It says once it deals the extra damage, it becomes a non-magical arrow. So since it didn't hit...
That is a 1d0.
We have to choose higher.
How did that number happen? Remember, choose high or low before you roll, though.
I said high.
Oh, okay. So that one was lost then.
I suck.
And that one was as well. Okay. So yes, unfortunately, both of those arrows of slain are lost in the...
Hey, Bill, stop rolling.
All right, but yes, so guys, that is our session for tonight. So when we pick up next week, you guys will be on your way back towards the city of Waterdeep. You'll be able to meet with the council there, explain to them your success and what you have learned, and hopefully this will ingratiate the council enough that they will take your team seriously and want to meet with all you, right? And try to get you guys truly into the fold of all this activity. So I would say for next session, look forward to maybe a little bit of D&D politics, right? Because that tends to be console type stuff. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed tonight's session, and we'll see everyone next week.
Can I intersect one thing here?
Sure.
Long rest. You let us apply tomorrow or next week, I should say.
You won't be able to long rest until you get basically back to Waterdeep. Now, if you wanted to stay in the village and say like, "Hey guys, we saved the day. Can you give us?"
Okay.
I assume
Answer B.
Right, I
No, I
assume
meant-
not.
But we have the night, and then we could do a short rest, I guess, in the morning or something mechanically.
If you have a short rest left today, you could spend one today if you needed to, or yes, you could wait until the morning and spend a short rest in the morning.
Okay, and then I want to now visualize our group on the boat with Gail putting everyone in the bear hug and saying, "I told you today was going to be a great day, didn't I? Love you guys."
I'm actually gonna let it happen because he fucked that dragon up. Like, not almost single-handedly. Everyone contributed a little bit, but he definitely fucked that dragon, and I'm very impressed.
Action surge with a dragon slaying sword. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Yeah,
night.
great session, everybody. We'll see everybody next week. Have a good night.
Have a good week, everybody.
Folks.